I'm Doug Brown. Argentina leads the Netherlands 2-1 deep in stoppage time in the second half at today's World Cup quarterfinals. Earlier, Croatia comes from behind to knock out Brazil in penalties after a 1-1 draw. Both goals scored in extra time. Brittany Griner is back in the U.S. and has reunited with her wife, Sherelle. American officials who met with Griner says she was in very good spirits and appeared to be in good health. She was held in Russia for almost 10 months. ESPN's TJ Quinn talks about her time at a labor camp.
Not as bad as it could have been. It's hardly pleasant. It's a labor camp in Russia. I mean, it's freezing. They work you all day long. But she had someone who spoke English to kind of guide her through the rules.
TJ Quinn on Get Up. Giants running back Saquon Barkley is questionable for Sunday's game against the Eagles with a neck injury. North Carolina wideout Josh Downs will skip the Tar Heels bowl game against Oregon. He will head for the NFL.
Make better hiring your first New Year's resolution. Indeed's all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Radio.
Cowboys medical staff performed a physical examination of Odell Beckham Jr., and it's been determined that the free agent wide receiver unlikely to be available before mid-January.
If I can get one or two explosive plays out of OBJ, it's all worth it.
All right, let's go. All right. Oh, there it is. Muse. It's only 3:02.
Muse nothing, all right?
Muse, it's 3:02 on a Friday.
I'm not the computer, Matt.
It's not 4:20 on a Friday, Muse.
Oh, we'd be closer to getting out of here if it was,
though. What happened, Muse?
Our automation system froze.
That happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's do the thing where I go, I'm Matt.
Well, I don't have those because they're on the automation system. But I can tell you you're a loser if you want, Matt. You're a loser, Matt.
No, you had to go way higher pitched.
We go through this every time.
Yeah, go way higher pitched.
Well, I should have done the Shaq one then. Hold on, I'm trying to find our backup automation here.
No worries, we're just doing live radio. You do what you got to do, Muse. Take your time. We got all day to figure this out. Everybody's just going to wait around. Nobody's going to change the channel. They're just going to wait around and wait for this to work, right? That's how it works.
The backup automation
How
helps
about
the live radio.
Mayfield? Baker Mayfield. What in the world? I'm so pissed about that. I didn't watch hey, Bo, thanks for coming, Bo Wegman. Can we hook up a microphone for Taylor since that one's broken? Maybe like even if you need this jack here so we could, appreciate that. No one else, I guess, thought to do that over the last week. But, always thinking here. Not just a hat rack, my friend. Not just a hat rack. So Taylor Sharp in for Paul O'Neill. Who took some vacay, so we appreciate Taylor for being here. Muse is here as well. I'm just jabbing Muse because that's what we do on the show. But he's just the punching bag because it's easy. But it's not his fault. The automation system went kablooey, so we apologize for that. No worries. Off we go. Onward and upward and all that good stuff. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. All right, a lot to get to today. I regret to inform you, no Terrio. When was the last time Terrio and I did a show? Has it been 3 weeks? Because he wasn't. So he's not here today.
Yeah.
Last week we were in Atlanta.
Right.
Was he with us the week before?
No.
What was going on? That was Thanksgiving.
That was Thanksgiving. So it's been at least 3 weeks. Yeah,
so
3 weeks.
This will be 3 straight weeks. So it's been a month since we've done a show together. So next week will be a lot of fun. We get the band back together next week. We'll look forward to that. So no Terrio. Dunham is in the state championship game. Terrio's daughters cheer for Dunham, so he's going down for the game, which is awesome. Good luck to Dunham. Neil Weiner. It took a Calachi alum like Neil Weiner to get Dunham into the state championship game. Of course it did. But don't is that factual, Bo? It's a fact, Bo Wegman. Look at you laughing like there's something off-putting about what I just said. That's a stone-cold fact is what that is, friend. All right. So no Terrio. Graff will be with us next hour. J-Boy, our guy Jake Crane from Crane & Company will be with us in hour number 3. Looking forward to talking a lot of football today and some hoops as well. LSU is in Atlanta. They'll play Wake Forest at State Farm Arena in Atlanta tomorrow, so we'll get to that in just a little bit as well. Okay. Another day. Oh, Muse, do you have the portal sounder, or is that not accessible to us either? Okay. He gave me the 1 second thing because, like I said earlier, we all have time. We'll just wait. No worries. We'll just wait. There it is. The show is better off for it now. Okay. Another day has brought another transfer portal entrant for LSU. This time it is senior offensive lineman Cameron Wire. So Cam Wire has spent 5 seasons with LSU. He has the option for a super senior season. He came to LSU as a 3-star prospect, the 31st best offensive tackle in the country, obviously redshirted in 2018, played from 2019 to 2022, and now in what was his 5th season, and now will have a 6th season of eligibility because of the COVID year to play elsewhere. Wire did take part in senior day activities, so he was not expected to be back. The question was, would he leave now and try to start to carve out a pro career, or would he enter the portal and play elsewhere? Clearly, he's going to look to play elsewhere. It's interesting about Wire because it never really, he just never fully established himself. He played a lot of football. He started 11 times, played in 26 games, started 9 games at left tackle, started a game at right guard, started a game at right tackle. And the interesting thing about Cam Wire is, last year when it was the offensive lineman who, Dare Rosenthal, who was essentially his LSU career went up in smoke, who transferred to Kentucky. It was Cam Wire who became LSU starter at left tackle. And, in returning Wire this year as a returning starter at left tackle, you would have assumed he would have fit in, but it was very quickly in fall camp it wasn't even fall camp, it was in spring football. It was very quickly in spring football that Brian Kelly identified Will Campbell and said, it's time to run the kid out there. And the interesting thing about Wire is he's got all the things that you want. He's a big dude, at 6'6". His MO is that he's a really athletic lineman, which you want if you're going to play tackle, especially at this level, which he has. So at 6'6", 300 pounds, really athletic, he has the mold and the physical ability, skill set of what you would want in a starting tackle in the SEC. He just never established himself. And too often, I don't know if it was technique, if it was lack of development, if it was intensity. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you what it is, but he just never grabbed a hold of a starting spot and refused to let go. He played a lot, but just never really established himself as a consistent starter. And this year played in just 4 games. Of course, he started the game in the opener when we found out right before the opener against Florida State that Will Campbell, if you recall, was in the hospital. And Wire started, or that was Tennessee, and Wire started that game at left tackle, but only played in 4 games for LSU this year. So if you recall, and many of you may not, and that's okay, but whenever they were sort of coming down the stretch of this season, we talked a good bit about positions that LSU would be targeting in the portal. And one of the things that I had been told early that I'd sort of relayed to you all was that, offensive line was going to be a spot that LSU was going to have to address in the portal because they were going to have to go get some veteran depth on that offensive line because they were anticipating losing offensive linemen from this group. And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you are returning your entire starting 5. You're returning Campbell, Dellinger, Turner, Bradford, and Emory Jones. And Miles Frazier returns as well, who, when Dellinger got hurt, Frazier stepped in as your left guard, and then those two rotated, and Frazier became a really good swing piece. Remember, he was a freshman All-America at FIU at right tackle a year ago, so he can play tackle or guard. So your first 6 are all back, and now you're supplementing with another recruiting class behind them. So you can look at a guy like Cam Wire and a lot of players like him to say, okay, well, what does this mean for a guy like Cardell Thomas or a guy like Xavier Hill or Marcus Dumerville, Marlon Martinez, these guys who have been around this program for a long time now, have not really cracked the rotation, have not established themselves as consistent players. do they leave and seek a better opportunity? My assumption is that Cam Wire is going to be the first of several on the offensive line to leave, which is why you're going to have to go into the portal to get, just like you did a year ago with a Tremont Shorts and a Miles Frazier, some veteran depth on that offensive line, which I assume they will do here. So, we've already told you one name, Jake Renfro, who was the starting center at Cincinnati, missed this entire past season due to injury. There's a coaching change there. He's in the portal. LSU most certainly is targeting Jake Renfro. We'll see if they can get him, but that would push Charles Turner. Maybe, even take Turner's spot there as the starting center, at least have that competition. But LSU is going to be targeting offensive line in the portal, and they're likely to lose a few more at that position group. But the first here is Cameron Wire, a local guy from EA, part of a national championship team, was a good player, a good rotational player, added a lot of depth, played a lot of football for LSU, but never really just put a chokehold on a starting spot and never let go. So Cam Wire has entered the portal. By the way, so if you were here yesterday, Muse and I went through this list several times where we were going through the numbers in the transfer portal. And we were talking about it because as of yesterday, we kept counting 8.
Yes.
And consistently on the text line and other people were saying, no, there's 9. And we ran through the numbers over and over and over again, and it was 8.
Yes.
But I think we've gotten to the bottom of it.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Jordan Tolles. Jordan Tolles entered the transfer portal, I believe it was back in August, but he caught on with another team. I found a tweet from Shea Dixon from December 5th outlining that he played basically a full season at Morgan State, so he's no longer in the portal. He found a team fairly quickly and has moved on.
Yes.
So it's 8. No, now it's 9.
So now it's 9.
Now it's 9.
With Cam Wire.
Yes.
But it was 8 as of yesterday. So everyone who said Jordan Tolles, no, he literally played this entire season at Morgan State at the FCS level. So the official count so Jordan Tolles does not count that number. He played this year for another team. He's not in the portal from LSU, like, for example, Philip Webb and Antoine Sampa, who early this year entered the portal or didn't play this season because they were going to enter the portal, so they preserved a year of eligibility. So here is your list. Jack Besh, Taylor, you can pull this up if you want. We can follow along. And this is courtesy of the On 3, the Bengal Tiger. They have their transfer portal list there. So your official list is Jack Besh, Demarius McGee, Raydarius Jones, Cole Taylor, Desmond Little's 5, Colby Fields, who entered yesterday, is 6, Cam Wire, who entered today, is 7, and then the 2 we mentioned previously, Philip Webb, Antoine Sampa, are 8 and 9. So the number is 9. Okay.
This segment brought to you by Sesame Street and The Count.
The number of the day. God, I watch so much Sesame Street. Drew is fixated. Like, I don't know if everybody's like, if I know Muse and Taylor, you don't have children. I'm curious if everybody's children are like this, but Drew gets fixated on just a few things. So for him, it's like Sesame Street. It's he falls down this YouTube rabbit hole watching elevator videos. I get it. Listen, my child's a little different, okay?
I didn't know there were elevator videos.
Like, seriously, there's a thing on YouTube where there are people who there's this guy who just goes and rides elevators in buildings all over the country and the world and takes videos of them. He's like, oh, we're inside of the Tooncestown Mall in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Oh, this is an Otis Series X. And my son just sits there. He falls down this rabbit hole watching elevator videos. But anyway, Sesame Street. We watched a lot of Sesame Street. And the other thing Drew does a lot, he watches a lot of things in Spanish. He finds videos in Spanish, and he thinks it's hilarious. So he watches, like, my son might be fluent in Spanish. I don't know. Like, he can't tell us if he is.
That would be so cool.
But I think he knows he's watched so many videos in Spanish for so many years. I think he probably knows Spanish. This segment brought to you by Babbel. Anyway, all right, it's after further reveal. We'll knock out a quick break. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Let me knock out a quick break. If you want to join us, call, text, email, tweets. Lots of ways you can get involved. We will spend a quick minute talking about LSU against Wake Forest tomorrow, hoops in Atlanta. I do want to set a little preview for that. And we heard from Matt McMahon, so we'll let you hear from the LSU head basketball coach in a second as well. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Always love sharing with you great testimonials from listeners people just like you or me who have called River City's 1 Hour Air. This 5-star review came from Bobby Saunier, who said, that is Bobby Saunier is the technician. This person said, Bobby was extremely professional and knowledgeable, took time to answer all of my questions, diagnosed and completed work quickly. Definitely recommend Bobby and River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001. If you're having issues with your home central heater, your AC, River City's 1 Hour Air can help, and I implore you, call for the preseason heater safety check. I got mine scheduled for next week. I practice what I preach. You should as well. Mention the Moscona special. They'll knock $30 off the price. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, whether always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Every business is different, but B1 Bank knows that every business owner has similar needs. From streamlining accounts receivables to maintaining access to working capital, a trusted bank is your best asset for staying on top of day-to-day finances and planning for future business growth. At B1 Bank, I know I have access to commercial banking experts who care about the needs of my business and can guide me to accomplish my goals. B1 Bank knows that managing your business isn't simple, but they can help you make it uncomplicated.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Real quick, one quick transfer portal tidbit. I've been asked this question a lot, so just to clarify, there's a 45-day portal window that opened on Monday, meaning players have 45 days from this past Monday. So now this is day 5, so 40 days to enter the portal. They do not have to find their destination in that time spot. So they don't have to pick a school in that window. They just have to declare or enter the portal in that window. And then, of course, can determine a spot later. There is another portal window in the spring after spring football where players can then, after spring, if they decide however matchups may be going or depth chart, whatever, they want to enter the portal, they can do it then also. But just as a point of clarification, players do not have to choose a transfer destination now, but if they intend to enter the portal, this is the window when they can enter the portal. So just wanted to clarify because I have been asked that a good bit. All right. So after further review, we're glad to have you aboard with us here. Tiger basketball team hitting the road. They'll be at State Farm Arena in Atlanta for the Holiday Hoops Giving Tournament. They'll take on Wake Forest. Matt McMahon gave a little bit of a scouting report on the Demon Deacons before LSU took off for Atlanta.
Very well-coached team. Coach Forbes has won a lot of games over the years, does a terrific job with their program. They've shot it well from three, and they've taken a high volume of threes, so I think the ability to defend the three-point arc will be critical. Tyree Appleby has been one of the electric guards in all of college basketball this season. His 30-point performance at Wisconsin was special. And then they have great size at the 4 and the 5 position, the 3 position for that matter, that also can step out and shoot the ball from 3. So that presents some problems as well. But I think a really good basketball team would be a great opportunity for us.
He mentioned Tyree Appleby in the 30-point night he had. Appleby for the season is averaging over 18 points a game. He's averaging 18, 5, and 4. So he's the guy that you really have to look out for. Here's a little more from Matt McMahon on Wake's Tyree Appleby.
I think the word I said the first time there was electric. With the ball in his hands, he's been elite. Great speed with the basketball, has shot the ball exceptionally well from 3. He's a tough cover in transition because of his speed and explosiveness off the dribble. And then I think the final piece of that is the offensive design of the Wake Forest system has put him in some really good positions with the variety of ball screen actions they've run for him.
This is going to be interesting because you have two teams that can score the basketball. And while LSU hasn't really faced stiff competition, and we've talked about the basketball team up until this point, and with good reason. I mean, LSU football was on a potential playoff run and a run of the SEC championship game throughout November. We weren't necessarily breaking down LSU and UT Arlington. But if you've been paying attention, Tigers can score. They've had to crank up the defensive intensity to keep their record where they are, which is at 7-1. Their lone loss was the controversial loss down in the Caymans, where they had the shot where Trey Hannibal hit the runner in the lane that looked like, which he did beat the buzzer, but they didn't start the clock in time, so it got waved off. It was a controversial ending with their only loss. You're stepping up in class a little bit here, where you're taking on a major conference opponent in Wake Forest. But Wake Forest has some of the same issues that LSU does. Wake's got a nice win over Wisconsin earlier this year. Not a team that's going to knock your socks off. They did lose their ACC opener to Clemson. They actually lost by 20, 77-57. But they had the 3-point win against Wisconsin in the ACC Big Ten Challenge back on November the 29th. So a step up in competition from what LSU has seen so far. You're facing a Power 5 opponent. It's a neutral site game. For what it's worth, I just checked on DraftKings, and the line is LSU 2.5. So LSU is a 2.5-point favorite in this ball game over Wake Forest. So you have a couple of really evenly matched teams who can go on the road and get it done. Matt McMahon did give, however, an update on Justice Williams and his availability for the game on Saturday.
He's been cleared to return to full contact practice the last 2 days. I think has looked pretty good considering how much time he missed coming off that sprained ankle against New Orleans. So our anticipation is if all goes well in practice today and tomorrow, that he would be fully cleared and dressed and ready to go on Saturday.
All right, so a nice opportunity for LSU, closer to full strength. You're at a neutral site in an NBA arena in Atlanta. You get to go and play in one of these games. I'm going to hesitate to call it a marquee game, but it is on ESPNU. If you're in Baton Rouge, you can listen on Eagle 98.1, our sister station. 1 o'clock tip-off. One more from Matt McMahon. This is where he says he'd like for his team to improve in this game against Wake Forest.
Number one, we have to lower our turnover rate. Offensively, we're just wasting too many possessions due to turnovers. I think, secondly, our defensive rebounding is very average, and that's an area that needs to continue to get better for us. And, probably the third one, and it's why we have jobs as coaches, is just trying to help players make the transition, get a better understanding of system and what we're trying to accomplish, really help them play with more confidence so that everybody can max out their role within the team.
That is Matt McMahon, LSU and Wake Forest. By the way, look, I mean, when you look at Wake Forest this year, they're 7-2, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've watched a lot of Wake Forest basketball, right? I've probably done what a lot of you have done. I've looked at their box scores. I've looked at their schedule. I've looked at their season results. I obviously know Tyree Appleby is their best player. You're going to have to keep an eye on him, averaging 18 points a game. But there isn't a lot on that schedule that's going to blow you away. Same with LSU. They've played 2 Power 5 teams. They beat Wisconsin, as we mentioned, by 3, and they got blown out at Clemson. They lost 77-57. I mean, their wins are Fairfield. They did beat Georgia by 10. They beat Utah Valley in overtime. They beat LaSalle. They lost to Loyola Marymount in overtime. They beat South Carolina State out of the MEAC. They beat Hampton. I mean, it's not that dissimilar from this LSU team, which has been better than the bad teams they've played. Kansas City, Arkansas State, UNO, Illinois State, Akron. We mentioned the Kansas State game was the game where was the controversial game in the Caymans, but they beat Wofford, who's been a tournament team in the past. They won that game by 3, and then they beat UT Arlington by 4. So in those 2 games, Wofford and against Arlington, they've had to crank up the defense late in those games and managed to get out with wins. We'll see how they fare against Wake Forest. And LSU, a 2.5-point favorite against the Demon Deacons in Atlanta tomorrow, 1 o'clock tip. All right, we're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name-brand tires at wholesale prices. You know where to find them. Online at ShawBillsTire.com. Again, that's ShawBillsTire.com. Y'all, we're getting into the holiday season. Matter of fact, my good friends are in town from Austin. Visited with them a little bit today. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're traveling this holiday season, going to see family or whatever it may be. Before you do, make sure you get the oil change, the tires rotated, the brakes checked, or maybe you need new tires. Remember, right now at Shawbills, they've got their 25 days of Christmas savings. You can go to the website, ShawBillsTire.com, hit the promotions tab. You'll see the 25 days of Christmas savings right there, which goes through Christmas Eve. It applies to things like new tires. If you want to shop them there, brake services, other mechanical service, winterization if you're heading to a snowy area, wheel alignment with a set of 4-tire purchase. You can get all of that info there at ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, you can always text the show on the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. If you have a question or comment, you can always get in there. And I will take a lot of your questions, comments today if you got them, so feel free to fire away. And I did get one from Matt asking about Brian Polian, his future at LSU, which I'll get to because I do have an opinion on it. I'll get to it coming up after the break, and we'll also go around the SEC. Glad to have you here with us on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
AFR.
Get Gordon. Get it done. The Gord Father has done it again. I don't know if you've seen the latest announcement, but you can check it out on all of the social media. Go to Get Gordon on any of the social media accounts, and you'll see the newest member of the G team is the GOAT. That's right, Coach Kim Mulkey. The newest member of the G team, Kim Mulkey, has joined Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, and Kim Mulkey is helping with Gordon McKernan as they continue their partnership in giving back to the community. We've told you so much about the bike giveaway. Well, Kim and Gordon are giving back, kicking off their partnership. Kim and the women's basketball team are adding on to the Gordon Gives bike giveaway by giving away 24 extra bikes donated personally by each player and coach, which is awesome to see. So Gordon McKernan continuing to use his platform to do so much good. And welcome to the G team, to Kim Mulkey and the Lady Tiger basketball squad. GetGordon.com. If you've been injured, you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We'll go around the SEC in just a quick second. I mentioned you could always text the show, 225. It's 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Matt King sent a text. He said, will Brian Kelly wait until after the bowl game to let Polian go, or will he retain him? I think, I'll put it to you this way. I will be surprised if Brian Polian is not back at LSU next year. I will be surprised if he is let go. I do think, however, there is a real possibility that Brian Polian could be reassigned on the staff. And listen, when you look at Brian Polian, so the question obviously then becomes, well, but he's also the special teams coordinator, and what else could he do? And remember, he's the recruiting coordinator, so what else would he do? Remember, Brian Polian started his coaching career back in 1997 at Michigan State as a GA. He spent time as a special teams coordinator at Buffalo in 2001 through 2003. Then he went to Central Florida. Then he was a special teams coordinator at Notre Dame in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9. Went to Stanford in 2010, where he was special teams coordinator in 10 and 11. Went to Texas A&M in 2012, where he was a special teams coordinator. Became the head coach at Nevada, where he was there from 2013 to 2016. Then Brian Kelly hired him at Notre Dame, and he was a special teams coordinator from 2017 through 2021. And then Brian Kelly hired him at LSU, and he became the special teams coordinator in 2022. So he has been a special teams coordinator essentially every stop of his professional career, except when he was a GA and then the tight ends coach at Buffalo. Aside from that, and then 1 year at UCF, he's been the special teams coordinator everywhere he's been. Over 25 years. Of the 25 years he's been in coaching, save the 3 that he was the head coach, the 4 seasons that he was the head coach at Nevada, he's basically been a special teams coordinator for 20 years. So he's got a long history of doing that. And if you were as bad at that job over 20 years as Brian Polian has been this year, I don't think he would continue to have that job. I will also say, I don't know that the performance this year warrants another opportunity. What I do know is there's sort of two angles you could take. Number one, when Brian Kelly was hired, the first assistant he hired that he brought with him was Brian Polian. Now, look, he tried to bring Tommy Rees, who stayed. Obviously wanted to bring Marcus Freeman, who got the head coaching job at Notre Dame. So it's not that it was like, well, this is my first choice. He was the first guy to come. We'll put it to you that way. To come to LSU with Brian Kelly, to follow him. But I don't know if you're Brian Kelly, if you can risk having this go badly for another year. I was sitting in the press box next to Charlie Hannegriff at the SEC Championship, and after the blocked field goal that was returned for a touchdown, he said to me, and was asking seriously, he said, can you name one play, one special teams play all year, one wow play on special teams all year, that positive, that helped this team win? And aside from Damian Ramos hitting that long field goal against Florida, which extended LSU's lead, I can't think of one. Literally can't think of one. I could think of a litany of bad plays, starting with the opener, where you muff a couple of punts, you have a field goal and a PAT blocked. I can point out kickoffs out of bounds. I can point out muffed punts. I could point out the muffed kickoff against Tennessee. We could talk about alignment, where they've had guys off sides on kickoffs. I mean, the litany of errors on special teams this year has been long. And it would be one thing if it were just, hey, the example that I've given several times is 2017 LSU. 2017 LSU, you had Jack Gonsolin and Connor Culp were your kickers, and neither guy really ever was consistent. They were back and forth, and it was a problem because you weren't good enough at that spot. You didn't have the talent at that spot, but you could fix that in recruiting. And Greg McMahon, you brought in Greg McMahon, and he did. He went and got Cole Tracy. He went and got Cade York. Boom. You were great kicking the football. He went and got Avery Atkins, handled your kickoffs. I mean, you fixed it in recruiting. That's not the problem with this team on special teams. Like, a blocked field goal, ball is live in the SEC Championship, and nobody, not one player on the team knows to go touch that ball. That's a live ball. That's coaching. Like, that is an egregious error that is absolutely unforgivable at this level of football. And if you want to point the finger at Brian Kelly, too, fine. And he deserves the blame because ultimately he's the head coach. He hired Brian Polian, who's an incompetent special teams coach at this point, and that's why you are where you are. So there have been a lot of coaches who have latched themselves because of personal relationships onto assistants that should have been fired. We saw Les Miles do it with Cam Cameron. We saw, back in the day, Jerry DiNardo do it with Lou Tepper, the old drop linebacker. He just wouldn't fire Lou Tepper after 1998, and ultimately that cost Jerry D, in part, his job in 1999. I don't know that this would cost Brian Kelly his job, and maybe Kelly recognizes that he has a long leash, a long rope, and can do what he wants. But I will say that I think that Polian will be back at LSU, potentially in a different role, an off-field role. Because you could very easily look at a circumstance where Frank Wilson, who has been the recruiting coordinator at LSU in the past, could step right back into that role. He's the running backs coach. He's the associate head coach. And you could put associate head coach recruiting coordinator titles on Frank, and you don't miss a beat in recruiting. If anything, you might be better. You can reassign Polian to where you could have some off-field role within your organization if you feel he's valuable there. And you bring in someone who might be a better option to be your special teams coordinator. It's just odd because Polian has 25 years of special teams experience, and it was just atrocious this year. Things that you point directly back to coaching and say, he is so consistently not good at every level and every phase of special teams, it's hard to justify having him back. So I don't know definitively what Brian Kelly's going to do. I'll tell you that. I don't think that he will fire Brian Polian. I think Brian Polian will be back because when Brian Kelly assembled his staff, a big part of that was half of his staff were guys that knew him and that he knew, that he felt could help ease a transition of styles. And half the staff were guys that could recruit Louisiana, that knew Louisiana, knew the state, knew the culture. Guys like Frank Wilson and Cortez Hankton, and, of course, retaining your offensive line coach. I mean, it was very thoughtful the way that Brian Kelly went about building his staff. And I like the way he built his staff. But it's pretty clear he wants Brian Polian on staff, and I think he will continue to be in some capacity. So my hope is they move him to an off-field role, elevate Frank Wilson to recruiting coordinator, and bring in a special teams coordinator who's more competent than Brian Polian, because he doesn't deserve to be retained in that role. He was that atrocious this year, and we all know it. I mean, it became somewhat of a punchline where we all expected everything in every game to go wrong in special teams, and by and large, it did. Okay, it's after further review. We're brought to you by DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Hey, remember, DraftKings, download the app. If you're a new customer, use the promo code Baton Rouge, make a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA game. If it hits, they'll give you $150 in free bets at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. All customers, new or existing, if you opt in, stepped-up same-game parlays are available. The more legs you add, the more money you can win, up to a 100% boost. You can learn more at the app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Again, get your smartphone, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and be sure to use the promo code Baton Rouge. You've got Army-Navy tomorrow. College basketball is in full swing. The NBA, NHL, you can bet on all of it at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Be sure to use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana, select parishes only. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus issued as free bets. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. All right, do it every day. How about this time? Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
Rams offensive coordinator Liam Cohen is headed back to Kentucky. He's going to leave the Rams, take the OC job at Kentucky from whence he came. So this is the second time he's made this move. He left the Rams. He was at the Rams from 2018 to 2020, went to Kentucky, then went back to the Rams, now is going back to Kentucky. He replaced Kevin O'Connell, who left to become the Vikings head coach.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Speaking of going back from whence you came, Austin Stogner, if you remember this story, was a 3-year starter at Oklahoma at tight end and followed Spencer Rattler to South Carolina. Well, after 1 year in Columbia where he started 10 games, Stogner's headed back to Oklahoma. He's got 1 season of eligibility, remaining 6'5", 250-pound senior is a grad transfer, again, eligible immediately.
Texas A&M!
Freshman wideout Chris Marshall is entering. Is Taylor laughing? Were you laughing at the Texas A&M drop? You have a microphone now. Remember, you have a microphone now.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. When y'all change it?
We got a mic! It's amazing when someone just asks the engineer, hey, do we have an option? Look at what happened. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I said I didn't know y'all changed it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I think was that the week?
UAB. It was the UAB week.
Why did we change it?
Because it was funny.
I didn't know if there was some impetus, like if someone requested it or
no,
who wanted
you did. It was you. We were doing around the SEC. I hit the A&M drop, and you were like, you know what? No more.
I think someone texted me and said they wanted that.
Oh, well, I don't know. I just remember
Texas
you asking for it.
Or maybe some. Oh, I asked you for the
Texas
drop.
A&M!
You couldn't find it, and someone texted.
Then someone sent it to us, yeah.
Former 5-star wideout Chris Marshall is entering the transfer portal. He missed the Miami game due to an off-the-field incident and then was suspended indefinitely and didn't play again for the team. So a former 5-star prospect, the number 25 overall prospect in the country, wide receiver Chris Marshall entering the transfer portal.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Mazeo Bennett, he's one of the top wide receivers in the country for the class of 2023, had been committed to Tennessee. He decommitted on Thursday evening. 5'11", 175-pounder. He's the number 31 receiver in the country, the number 3 player in the state of South Carolina. He decommitted from Tennessee. His other offers are Florida State, Alabama, Oregon, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, and Miami.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And Arkansas has seen another defensive back jump into the portal. It's Zach Zemos. He's the latest Razorback to leave. Redshirt junior out of the state of Texas. He appeared in 8 games for the Hogs this season. Former 3-star linebacker in the class of 2019, where he was the 38th best linebacker in the country. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal, and our friends Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. They proudly sell the Savin line. They're a national leader among Savin dealers, but they will service all different makes and models. So if you have issues with your office equipment, trust Gulf Coast Office Products. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, North Shore, and Lafayette. It's Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, and the ULL Raging Cajuns. All right, Graff is going to be here in about 15 minutes from right now. Muse, did you say Graff? I need to find this. What did he do on the show tweet?
Graff went and replied to the show tweet a emoji of a Christmas tree and a Santa Claus emoji.
Graff wants the bit to live.
Dude, he's so in. He's been in on it from day one, though.
He has been. I think the first time we had him on, he just said, "Merry Christmas, Matt."
Yeah.
That's what he said. So if you're not on Twitter, follow at 1045 ESPN on Twitter. Muse puts out a show tweet every day, like with the links to watch, the radio links, the of course WBTR in Baton Rouge on television, and then usually a fun GIF as well. Do we say GIF?
I say GIF. Yes.
I say GIF. Taylor, what do you say?
Yeah, I say GIF as well.
Yes, GIF. GIF is what it is. It's a GIF. Okay. Quick break. Oh, the Heisman's going to be awarded tomorrow night. We know the 4 finalists are. The voting has been revealed for the after the top 4. We know the order in which they were voted. That's already been revealed. So we'll go through that and some of the other college football awards that were announced last evening. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery, 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. If you're having a holiday party, wings are a great option. I mean, Pluckers catering is fantastic. Like, just call, order a whole mess of wings, any sides. They'll put them in the big serving pans. They're easy to keep hot with those little. What are those little lamp things under the bottom? Little dishes that keep things hot. Why am I blanking on this? You know what I'm talking about? The little.
A heat lamp? I don't know what you're talking about.
Someone will tell me. When you have catering food in the trays, you put the little heating thing underneath them that keeps. Someone's going to text me and tell me. Anyway, or maybe put it in the chat. Anyway, it's easy. It's Pluckers for your home, for your family, for your game watch party, or to go dine in. Get by Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Pell East tonight. You need a place to watch the Pell Suns or Army Navy tomorrow. Get by Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm Sylvia Weatherspoon. Here's a look at one of the stories we're working on for WBRZ News 2 at 6. Michael LeBlanc is the talk of town in Donaldsonville. He was serving time for murdering a man there, but was released from prison too soon and showed up in Donaldsonville. Now he's on the run from law enforcement. WBRZ tried talking to neighbors for their reaction. What they said and did not say speaks volumes about their concerns. This convicted killer is still on the loose. Join us for that and much more, plus your weekend forecast on WBRZ News 2 at 6.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different.
Yeah. Two-step with me. One, then comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Everybody drunk out on the dance floor.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Sterno. That's the little thing you put under the dish to keep it warm. And in my head, I was going like, I was thinking, I knew it was an S. I'm like, I was like Stogner, because that was the tight end from Oklahoma that we're just talking about. And I was like, it sounds like Stoner, but I can't say Stoner because Muse is right here, and it's just going to set him off. So,
managed to get one in anyway there, didn't you?
No, I did. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say it. You did. I didn't say Stoner because I knew that would just trigger you.
You did the thing that people do. They're like, oh, I'm not going to say this because, and then you say it anyway. Yeah.
Who does that? Who would do that?
People do that, Matt.
Taylor, have you ever heard of that at all? People doing?
Yeah. No, I think he's starting early today. I haven't heard anything.
I've never heard that before.
Can't even catch a break with Paul not here.
Muse, whenever Paul's not here and Taylor's here or Danny's here or whatever, and the consistent theme comes to be, it's like everybody against you.
Yeah.
Maybe the problem really is you.
I don't think the problem is really me.
Taylor, is the problem really him? Is the problem really him?
I mean, I don't want to flat out say but it kind of seems like it at times.
Doesn't it? I mean, he's not even here every day. And Taylor even acknowledges that the problem is you, Muse. It's okay. Just acknowledge what you are. Just be authentically you. Just be authentically you, Muse. It's okay. We're all this is the trust tree. We're in the trust tree in the nest.
The circle of trust.
We're in the trust tree in the nest, are we not? I mean, it's okay. Anyway, Sterno. So thanks to all of you. There were many of you texted me Sterno. So yes, Sterno is what I was looking for. The thing that you use to keep catering dishes warm. Thank you. Okay, so they're gonna announce the Heisman winner tomorrow. We know the 4 finalists. I am very embarrassed for the voters. The fact that Hendon Hooker is not a finalist is embarrassing. I don't have a vote for this award, and quite honestly, if they gave me one, I'm not sure that I would even want to accept it because I don't know that I would want to be in the mix of something like this. That's such a massive. It's regionally biased. It's just a large echo chamber of nonsense. We've seen too many instances over the years of this going the way that it has and shouldn't. It's become a very lazy award where people vote for the best quarterback on the best team sort of thing. Sometimes it's very obvious when you have a player like Joe Burrow in 2019 where he was so far and away the obvious choice that you'd have to be a moron to vote for anyone else. But then there's instances like this where I don't know how you could have watched this college football season and not acknowledged who Hendon Hooker was, the value he had to his team, and the fact that he essentially was the Heisman frontrunner for 10 and a half weeks, and then he got injured, didn't play against Vanderbilt, and now he's not even a finalist. It's I would say something similar with Blake Corum, the running back from Michigan, who was magnificent this year. Anyway, they'll hand out the trophy tomorrow. I probably won't watch. The flip side of it is, I'll tell you, I was thrilled when Joe Burrow won it because I do love I do love watching history. I've relayed this several times over the years. I love seeing things that I've never gotten to see. So, for example, I use this with Barry Bonds. When Bonds, broke Hank Aaron's record at 755. I remember watching Bonds at 756. He hit it off of Mike Bassick of the Washington Nationals. I remember that forever. because I made a point to watch it because I didn't get to watch Hank Aaron. I've seen the video of him rounding the bases and the kids jumping out of the stands to go chase him down and shake his hand. But I wanted to see that moment in my lifetime. So I did. So watching I didn't get to see Billy Cannon win the Heisman. So watching Joe Burrow do it was incredible. So I get that this feels maybe like I'm talking a little bit out of both sides of my mouth, but I probably won't watch tomorrow. Good luck to the candidates. Caleb Williams is going to win it. We now know the winner based on Vegas odds and polling of the candid polling of Heisman voters. So when you have someone that's minus 2,500 the day before the award's going to come out, you know who's going to win it. So Caleb Williams is going to win it. Congratulations to him. And quite honestly, if I didn't vote Hendon Hooker number one, I'd probably have Caleb Williams right there. So congrats to Caleb Williams. He's going to win the Heisman tomorrow. Watch if you'd like, or just do something more productive with your life. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break here. I'm sorry, we'll hit the top of the hour. SportsCenter will get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, we'll talk to Graff. Merry Christmas, everybody. Pell's sons. It's going to be a good one. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, GMFSmortgage.com, changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. I say that all the time. Home buy, refi, construction loans. If you're buying a home, building a home, want to refinance your mortgage, GMFS Mortgage can help. And I know a lot of people right now are looking at interest rates, which have ticked up. Of course, raising the interest rates has been a counter to inflation to try to maybe bring inflation numbers down a little bit. But even with the interest rates ticking up, historically, you're still at great levels right now. And it may be a great time to buy it if you're looking for the best loan product for you. Call a local loan officer at GMFS Mortgage. In some instances, maybe you lock in that rate right now, even as they might be projected to go higher, and then eventually when rates do go down, you can refi. So you can still move and get in that home of your dreams right now. It's GMFS Mortgage. Online at GMFSmortgage.com. Hit the loan officers tab. No matter where you are in the state of Louisiana, find a local loan officer near you from GMFS Mortgage. GMFSmortgage.com.
A third of youth who grow up in foster care are homeless 18 months after aging out of care. But you can rewrite that story. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. An incredible quarterfinal day at the World Cup. Our Argentina and Croatia both advance on penalties. Argentina survives, giving up a 2-goal lead in the 82nd minute to beat the Netherlands 4-3 on penalties. Croatia comes back to tie Brazil in extra time and then wins in penalties 4-2. Argentina will meet Croatia in the semifinals on Tuesday. Browns leading wideout Amari Cooper misses practice today with a hip injury. The Browns play the Bengals Sunday. ESPN's Brooke Pryor says there are encouraging signs from the Bengals.
Here's the thing that Cincinnati's good at. They peak at the right time. And the fact that the offense did not have a massive drop-off without Jamar Chase tells me that this is a team that is continuing to peak.
Brooke Pryor on Get Up. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the NBA and the Players Association will likely extend a December 15th deadline for either side to give notice about opting out of the current labor deal. That contract runs till the end of next season.
End the year on a hiring note. Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Taylor Sharp. Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. No Terrio today down in NOLA. Cheering on the Dunham Tigers, hopefully to a state championship win. So Terrio, both of Ryan's daughters cheer for Dunham, so they're supporting them. So totally get that, and I wish them all the best. The Pels, that's the first place Pels to you. Thank you very much. Are back at the Blender tonight, taking on the Phoenix Suns. Merry Christmas to Todd Graffinini, who joins us now on AFR. Graff, how are you?
I'm great, Matt. Merry Christmas to you. And look, here's the deal: we're in the Christmas season. The bit is now reality.
Yes.
So I don't think we're stepping out of bounds here. No pun intended.
That's,
it is Christmas time.
But I welcome your puns because I love good puns. By the way, but the reality has been Christmas Day has been the season should start Christmas Day, and I still believe that. I still think the NBA is wildly missing a great opportunity to just own the month of July and not compete with football in November. I don't think we'll ever see that. Do you?
I do not, and it's very simple. Why? Because the players love their summers.
That makes sense. Hey, 5-game win streak for New Orleans. Put this 5-game win streak in perspective for me.
Wow. Good question, as always. I just think it's just shown the versatility of this team. They've done it in a bunch of different ways, and all 5 games have been without arguably their best player in Brandon Ingram. Now, think about it. Last year, the Pels were 7-18 when Brandon Ingram did not play. This year, they're 7-2, including all of these games in this win streak. But I think we have seen, Matt, during this streak and really in the last few weeks, that they can beat you outside, they can beat you inside, they can play half court, they can run and gun. and they're very deep, and they've just become a very difficult team to defend. And, oh, by the way, they're now third in defensive rating in the NBA, and one of two teams that are in the top 6 in offensive rating, defensive rating, and net rating. And I'm not trying to get too deep here in advanced stats. The other team, by the way, is the Phoenix Suns, who's in town this weekend. But when you're doing it on both ends of the court and also doing the little things like deflections and steals and block shots and points in the paint, just a bunch of statistics that we call hustle stats, and it's just been fun to watch. And obviously the results are showing on the court.
Being in first place, it's been fun to look at the standing and see the Pels atop them. Does it matter to the team?
I think it did yesterday, and then they got back to work. Because, look, think about where we were a year ago, Matt. You're talking about last place. I mean, looking up at every single team in the Western Conference. So it really has been a turnaround. And I don't want to go back too much to last year because it's obviously a new year. But there is no doubt in my mind that this is just a continuation of what we saw the last month of last season, getting into the playoffs, and, of course, now adding Zion Williamson to the mix. Because everybody on the roster is back. There were no changes to the roster. And now you've got Zion playing the way that everybody hoped he would be playing back in his rookie year. But the key for Zion is he is healthy, A. B, he is in shape. And C, he's just become an unstoppable force, which he really was 2 years ago. For the most part, for the majority of the season, he just got injured at the end of that year 2 years ago. But he has really, really upped his game. And I go back to the defense. We're seeing things from him now defensively that we did not see his rookie year and his second year in the NBA.
Todd Graffinini is with us. I mean, look, Zion, when he was healthy, was putting up numbers and stat lines that were compared to guys like Shaq and Wilt. I mean, when that's the same rarefied air in the same breath, obviously you are special. It's just keeping him healthy, and so far it's been awesome. Now, you did also mention, Graff, no BI tonight, no Herb tonight. How specifically does that impact them against Phoenix?
Well, that's interesting because the last time these two teams played, way back in October, which seems like a very long time ago, there was no BI, there was no Herb Jones. There was no Zion Williamson either in that game, and it was a pretty easy win for the Phoenix Suns. We'll just see who steps up in their absence because, again, Trey Murphy wasn't scoring the basketball like he is now back in October. We'll wait and see what happens with Jose Alvarado, who's listed as questionable. He took a real shot in the ribs on a screen set by Durham the other night for Detroit. That would be a loss if Jose is not able to go tonight. He was listed as questionable coming in. But, I'd tell you in the past, hey, it's going to be a massive loss. But the way this team has been playing, it is a complete next man up mentality. But sooner or later, Matt, you've got to get your guys back because it's not sustainable for an entire season, and especially in the postseason. But I would, obviously they're out tonight. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Again, when these two teams play again, I saw BI doing some stuff during shoot-around today, which we had not seen prior. So that's good. He's getting better. Herb Jones is doing some conditioning work on the side, so he's getting better. I would hope by Tuesday when we start the road trip in Salt Lake City that we're going to be as close to health as we possibly could be.
Our radio voice of the Pels, Todd Graffinini, is with us. By the way, have you been hearing a lot of Gimme Graff calls, like just out the street? People catcalling on Gimme Graff?
I have. I'm very, very flattered. Thank you, everyone out there. Thank you out there in Radio Land.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying something. I thought I stepped on you. My apologies.
No, it's all good.
I saw also today that the Pels have recalled Kyra Lewis from the G League. Are we expecting him to play or have some type of role tonight?
He was called up a week and a half ago and never got into the ball game. That was when we had a couple of more guys out. I just think this is strictly an insurance policy in case Jose Alvarado is not able to go this weekend. That's my personal opinion. Because again, Kyra was on the team for a couple of games and never got in.
Okay.
So it's really, I think, an insurance policy because, again, they want him to play as much as he can in the G League, and he's been doing well in Birmingham. He's getting some minutes. There just aren't any minutes for him right now with the big club. So if he gets in, I would say we would have some type of maybe foul issue, or Jose Alvarado would not be in the lineup.
All right. Before you go, Graff, for tonight, and look, they're going to play a couple of games this weekend against Phoenix.
Right.
Give me a matchup, a key tonight to watch for the Pels to have success. What do we need to see? What are we looking for?
Well, here's the deal, Matt. And since the Phoenix Suns have been constructed and now are the quote-unquote, and I'm doing the fingers in the air, Suns, since the beginning of last year. Correct. I mean, here's the deal. They have never seen Zion Williamson on the other side of the floor. I mean, we're talking the games, the regular season games last year, all 6 playoff games, and the first game this season. Zion Williamson has never played against the now Phoenix Suns. So I'm very curious to see who's going to put a body on him. Is it going to be Torrey Craig? Is it going to be Mikal Bridges? Whoever it may be, it's certainly not going to be Devin Booker or DeAndre Ayton, because Ayton's going to be matched up on Valanciunas. And if it's Torrey Craig, good luck, Torrey, because there's no way a 6'7" guy at 221 pounds is going to be able to stop Zion Williamson. So, that's a them problem, as I like to say.
And I'm glad it's their problem. It is Pell Suns tonight, 7:30 tip. Of course, you can hear Graff on the radio call. You can always watch the guys in Valley Sports New Orleans as well, who are great. So, Graff, have a great call tonight. Man, we appreciate the time as always. We'll visit soon.
Ho, ho, ho.
I'm clipping that 100%.
You just knew, like, there was a walk-off coming, right? It was just a matter of, how was it going to sound? What was he going to say? What other options could he have had? I guess he could have gone traditional, just Merry Christmas.
That wouldn't have been nearly as fun as that, though.
I know. But not as good.
Santa's coming to town. He could have done that.
Not as good as Otter saying, ho, ho, Hanny, which is just a dynamite drop every time we get it.
I was about to say, every year, it's just as good as it was the last time.
Oh, Hanny! I kind of want to get Ott on the show today just to have him do ho, ho, Hanny. Can we get Ott to give some picks? You know what I missed yesterday?
Oh, what time? That depends on what time it is. I mean, Otter might be a little deep.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, I mean, I think it's
matter.
even more entertaining.
And it doesn't matter.
It's just, is he going to answer the phone?
We'll get him to answer the phone. We'll bother him enough. Or we'll find out who's with him to get him to answer the phone. Suns are a 1.5 favorite tonight. I'm curious. Who do you like tonight? Do you have a feel on the game?
I like the Pelicans, man. They're hot. It's two teams kind of feels like going in a little bit different direction at the moment. The Suns are struggling. Chris Paul's not been great. And the Pelicans believe right now.
Taylor, get a feeling?
How am I not going to go Pels? Chris Paul's like 40 years old.
It's true.
Yeah.
You got to split. I'll say that. Between Sunday and Friday, you need a split.
I think Sunday is the better chance to win. You get Phoenix away from home longer. And I don't know the status on Herb beyond. You don't know if Jose's playing today. Better chance, maybe I would assume that he plays Sunday than today. That line is short. The crowd could certainly pull him through. It's going to be a bit. Look, talking about a Friday night, 7:30 in New Orleans with Phoenix coming in. Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's going to be a great atmosphere tonight. But there is some truth to the idea that you got to learn how to win these games to where it becomes the expectation that you win. I think Phoenix is coming expecting to win tonight. I think New Orleans is maybe hoping to win tonight. But I agree. Split them. Split these two in the blender. And even if you split them, you're still coming out of the weekend as the top team in the Western Conference going on the road. So, Pels and Suns tonight from the blender at 7:30. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Glad you're hanging out with us here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area: Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. Christmas trees, y'all. Christmas trees, Christmas trees, Christmas trees. It is December the 9th. We are 16 days away from the big day, 15 days from the big guy coming down the chimney. When he comes down the chimney, he's got to have somewhere to put all his presents. Got to put them under the tree. So go get your tree at Clegg's Nursery. They still have a great selection at all 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. So get on by any of the Clegg's locations. Buy that great Christmas tree. If you want the live tree, that's what we do. But if you want the artificial pre-lit tree, they've got those at Clegg's as well. Any of the 4 locations. They have the largest selection of poinsettias in the state. Certainly at the Garden Center up there in Greenwell Springs. So check them out at Clegg's Nursery. Great gift card and gift items as well. Buy local, shop local. Clegg's Nursery.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime, Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
So last hour, I was asked if I thought Brian Polian would be retained. The short answer is I do. I think he'll be on staff. I don't know that he'll be back as special teams coordinator. And if you want to move him to an all-field role, Frank Wilson could assume recruiting coordinator duties. I'm not telling you that will happen. I'm just saying I do expect Brian Polian to be back. I hope it's not as special teams coordinator. I relayed a question that Charles Handegriff asked me in the press box at Mercedes-Benz Stadium last Saturday after the blocked field goal for a touchdown. can you think of anything good that special teams has done this year? And Danny Riggs just sent me a text. Jack Besh returned the kickoff for a touchdown at home. It was called back, if that counts as a positive or good thing. Do you realize the irony of describing a bad thing as a good thing? I mean, you had it called back. I mean, that's a bad thing. Like, even when you're trying to think of the good things, they're overtaken by a bad thing.
Was that against New Mexico?
I don't remember it. I don't care. Sure. Taylor's emphatically nodding yes.
I think it was a punt, though.
It was definitely not a kickoff.
Yeah.
But Jack at the time was trying to kicks and punts. And then I got another comment from Bill Wall, who said, there's no doubt special teams have been bad, block kicks, not covering kicks, etc. Said, however, you cannot blame the coach for the muff punts. No way. They tried different starters. Some starters didn't have a decent returner. So, Bill, I'm actually going to disagree with you on a couple of fronts. Number one, it's the coach's job to identify who's capable of doing that. That's number one. And if you continuously put guys back there that weren't capable, that's on you as a coach. That's one. Two, situationally, you can blame the coach. And I'll give you one for example. The opening kickoff against Tennessee. If you go back and watch that, Jack Besh had been lined up on the other side of the field. Just before the ball was being kicked, the LSU coaches are running down the field to have them switch because they're anticipating the kicker kicking to the short side. So Jack Besh had to run from the right side to the left side, and then it was sky kick, so he had to run up. So Jack probably ran 60 yards before, he muffed that kick. Clearly, LSU's coaches did not scout that situation properly. So should Jack have caught that ball? Absolutely. Would it have been way easier if your coach had the return man on the right side and prepared for a sky kick, or someone up and up back to prepare for that sky kick? Yup. That's coaching. So while I can understand your point, Bill, and very from a 10,000-foot view saying, you can't blame a coach for a muff punt. There are instances where, yes, you can, because the situation that person was in is on coaching. Okay, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and 8th Agent Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bonnet, Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey, and Lafayette. Online, theantiagingclinics.com. Was there today, as a matter of fact. Hormone replacement therapy, once weekly injection, affordable, make you feel like your younger self. Could not recommend highly enough, no matter if you're a man, woman, how young or old. It's more about how you feel. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. Man, I was there earlier today. Erica uses a whole bunch of different products there. They got medical-grade supplements and creams like exfoliating polish and cleansers and all different kinds of stuff. Check it out at theantiagingclinics.com. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. Real quick, if you're just jumping aboard, haven't heard the news today, Cam Wire, LSU senior offensive lineman, he's jumped into the transfer portal. He was not expected to be back. He went through senior day against UAB, so we knew he wasn't going to be back. The only question was whether or not he would be Cam Wire would be hitting the draft or entering the portal. So he'll play a sixth year as a super senior somewhere else. Cam Wire, the senior from East Ascension, 10 starts in his first 3 years, 22 appearances from 2019 to 2021. Cam Wire will finish his college career with one super senior year elsewhere. So I would presume that also means Cam Wire will not be playing in the bowl game for LSU, which should not come as any big surprise. And LSU should be fine there as well with your 5 returning starters, and then with Miles Frazier back as well. What we do know now is who is going to be on the opposing sideline for LSU. Mike Babinski. Is that right? Is it Babinski or Bobinski? It's Bobinski.
I've heard it pronounced Babinski.
Babinski?
That's how I've heard it pronounced.
Or Bobinski.
Now you have me doubting, but I've heard, when they've introduced him at the press conference, I've heard it Babinski.
His name ends in SKI, so he's Polish, Polish descent. Actually, as a matter of fact, my buddy who I mentioned who was in town today from Austin, who I was visiting with, he and his family, is Dr. Ski Batansky. Dr. Ski Batansky. SKI, Purdue. Maybe I could call Polish. Maybe I could call Ski and get a pronunciation. He would say Bobinski or Babinski from a poll.
I guess you could, yeah.
Taylor, what do you think? Babinski or Bobinski?
I'd go Babinski.
I'm going Bobinski.
Okay.
I'm going Bob. It's very clearly B-O-B, Bob. It's Mike Bobinski. If he's saying Babinski, he's wrong. He's pronouncing his name wrong.
All right.
But whatever his mama calls him, that's what I'll roll with. Anyway, he's the Purdue AD, and he did announce Brian Braum as the interim coach.
Brian Braum will serve as the interim head coach for our Citrus Bowl game. First of all, Brian's a really talented coach. He's our offensive coordinator, and if his name wasn't Braum, it wouldn't be unusual at all. I can tell you that our players were excited. Our remaining staff members were excited. Brian was hugely excited at the opportunity. For him, it's a great professional moment and a chance to really put his stamp on our program and a team over these next several weeks.
So Jeff Braum has already left for Louisville. His brother Brian Braum will be the interim head coach for the bowl game. Mark Hagan will call the defense. But if you remember earlier this week, we were talking to a Purdue beat writer, and one of the big questions was what assistants are going to stay for the bowl game, because apparently the word was that there was going to be this big exodus of coaches leaving with Braum for Louisville that were not staying for the bowl game. So they were going to have somewhat of a skeleton staff for this bowl game. Here was Mike Babinski.
Folks that have exited and joined Jeff initially here, or will be joining Jeff today, tomorrow, are Chris Barclay, Garrick McGee, Ron English from the coaching staff. That is what I know right this second. I don't know if any more. The rest are here and will be here with us through the bowl game, to my knowledge, at this point in time.
So that's 3 full-time assistants that have already left. Remember, you are allowed 10 on-field assistants. That's 3 full-time assistants that have left. We do see waivers where, in situations like this, you can elevate GAs or analysts to on-field staff roles in this situation, and that's likely what Purdue will have to do. But it's an unenviable task for Purdue in this situation. That's why. Listen, when you've had this amount of your roster, your coaching staff, your whole organization uprooted this close to a game, it's just a very difficult circumstance. And if you're LSU, you've got to look at this as you smell blood in the water. I mean, this is a great opportunity for LSU to finish the season with 10 wins, and most importantly, with a win, instead of a 3-game losing streak to finish off an otherwise pretty stellar season, considering expectations. So I'm not saying that you revel in that or you celebrate someone else's misfortune or what Purdue is going through, especially the young players that committed to play for Jeff Braum. That's just part of it. I mean, it's part of college football. But for LSU, this becomes a really great opportunity because of all of the turnover there at Purdue. All right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. This week, it was actually pretty incredible. I was chatting with our team earlier today. Our inspection request this week boomed. And probably a big part of that is we've had a lot of rain. Let me reiterate. We had some really intense rain days over the past couple of weeks. I mean, Thanksgiving Day was the wettest Thanksgiving in Baton Rouge ever. Had over 4 inches of rain on Thanksgiving Day. So when it rains, our phones ring. I mean, that's just part of it. That's when people realize they've got roof leaks. So if you're in that number, give us a shout at Hudco Roofing. Go to HudcoRoofing.com. That's HudcoRoofing.com. You can fill out the inspection form right there on the homepage, or you can call 364-1007, 225-364-1007, 225-364-1007. If you're in North Louisiana, go to the website. There is a number for the Shreveport-Bossier office as well. It's 318-584-0044. So no matter where you are in the state, Hudco can service you. A free, no-obligation roofing inspection, a commercial or residential. We've actually gotten a lot of inspection requests and requests for repairs and replacements from commercial buildings as well. At Hudco, we can do any type of roof. Commercial, residential, we do it all. We'll give you a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. And, of course, we are Louisiana's first Louisiana-based certified fortified roofing company. You can learn more at HudcoRoofing.com. You can save as much as 50% on your insurance premiums with a fortified roof. Learn more at HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. All right, when we come back, a bit of a one-off. And a rap megastar has made an Alex Bregman song, and there is a music video that accompanies it. The guy who did the video is joining us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-26.
Born in Albuquerque, but I'm Houston, Texas made. Never crumble under pressure, I just feed off it. Bring them out, line them up, put them in a coffin. I'm on the grind getting...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
If you're listening closely, the subject may sound familiar. Turn that up a little, Muse.
Just maintain, you know what I'm saying?
Bregman, 2 on, 2 out. 10 back. That's in the wall. Here comes Fisher.
The sultry tones of one Paul Wall, the iced out snowman, made a rap song about our guy Alex Bregman. There is an accompanied video as well, and Ben Onda is the editor from On the Top Media. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Ben, we appreciate the time, man. How are you?
I appreciate you having me, brother. I'm well.
Heck yeah, man. All right, let's just start with the very obvious question. How in the world did you get involved with Paul Wall and Bregman to do this project?
Kind of funny story, actually. So if you know Bregman, you know, he's always got Straub with him, Tyler Straub,
yeah.
his best friend. He's manager. They're like, you know, connected at the hip, basically. But anyways, Straub played college baseball at UTSA, Texas San Antonio, and my little brother was a pitcher there at the same time that Straub was there. So when Straub moved back to Houston, you know, I've been editing videos for a really long time. I've been doing, you know, this since I was about 15 years old. So pretty much half my life. I'm 32 now. So I was like, hey man, you got to get me linked up with Bregman. I know that we could make some great stuff together. And so long story short, Straub linked us up, and we kind of got going together, and we were making some, you know, I was doing some stuff for his YouTube and everything. And then one night he sent me a text. He actually sent me the audio for the song in a text. And granted, this was 4 or 5 years ago. That's a funny thing about this video is that the footage of Paul Wall was shot like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And, you know, we kind of just, at the original time that we made it, there was a different version of the video that was made prior to the one that eventually got released the other day. One with, like, you know, him and his boys, like Straub's in it, Papirski's in it. Just like, and they're like, it's hilarious, man. I mean, like, if you notice the part where Paul is walking out, when he comes in, he's like, if you want the smoke, come and get it. I'm just 60 feet away. Well, we actually put a smoke machine in right field at Minute Maid Park. And we were like kind of freaking out a little bit because it was like Orbit's closet where he gets, like, you know, where all the Orbit gear is, and there's like a smoke alarm in there. We were freaking out about setting off the smoke alarm. I mean, dude, it was hilarious. But anyways, we shot the video, and I think kind of after we shot it, we were like, I don't know. I mean, it was awesome, but he just didn't want to put it out for whatever reason. And then, you know, fast forward the clock, after we won the second title, after everything that this franchise been through, he's been through, all that. And I was like, I texted him, I was like, bro, all the lyrics came true. And he texted me like the next day, because sometimes it takes a little bit to respond. And this is also coming off a world championship too. So it's like, and he's like, dude, all the lyrics came true. And I was like, all right, I'm going to remake this video. I'm going to recut it. I'm going to put some, you know, update the highlights, everything, add some new play-by-play at the end of the second verse. And I'm going to just see what you think about it. And so finally, once we've all put it together, and we kind of just, he was like, all right, we can put it out there. And so, yeah, that's kind of how all that, long story short.
You can go to Ben's Twitter. The video is there. It's at Ben Onda Top, BENONDA. Ben's last name is Onda, ONDA. So Ben Onda Top is, I love puns. I love that. That is your last name, right? I mean, that's your given last name.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I love that too, but I love pun. I love that your name is basically a pun, which is really cool.
And you know, if you have the right, exactly, exactly. But on Instagram, my Instagram, if you have Instagram, you can go to Instagram, and it's the most recent post there. So that'd probably be the easiest way to watch it.
So Twitter or Instagram, you can get it
Correct.
there either
Same
way.
Handle.
Same handle. At Ben on the Top. So did you have the Astros? You had to, I guess, have the Astros cooperation to shoot this 4 years ago?
Well, you know, it was kind of just a thing where, like, we just were with Alex there, and we kind of, I don't think we asked anybody. I mean, like, no, he didn't ask anybody about but I mean, like, dude, it's Alex Bregman. I mean, like, kind of, you know, what do you, we weren't hurting anybody, you know. What I mean?
Just a smoke machine in Orbit's changing room. No biggie.
Right,
Whatever.
And you got Paul Wall with his grill sitting on the right field fence, wrapped like it's just hilarious. This was, and also too, this was right before the 2019 season, his runner-up MVP season. So it was like, I mean, he just had all the swag and all the confidence, and like, it's actually, you know, kind of, because I was talking to Jeffrey earlier, the fellow that linked me up with you, and we were talking about just kind of his evolution, and like he still has that supreme confidence and everything, but just, you know, like he's still the same guy. You know, he's got an excellent sense of humor if you've ever been around him, which I assume you have.
For sure.
And like, but he's like really just matured into that. You know, he's a father now. He's a husband. You know, and it's just like it's been really cool to see that development, but that hunger, man. And I tweeted a little bit about it last night. Like, nobody works harder than this cat. You know, I mean, it's truly something special to watch up close at times. You know, just even filming the hitting sessions in the cage with his coach and everything. I mean, this guy is a true just junkie for the game. You know,
Ben, are we gonna see the original version that you edited?
Man, I might be able to text it to you, but I doubt that it would go public. No.
All right, why not?
I don't know. I think that you'd probably have to ask Alex about that. I'm not sure. No, nothing bad. There's nothing like no reason or anything. It's just kind of a little goofy, you know.
I mean, this is a man who did a mini series about his salsa. With Paul Wall and a lot of his teammates. I mean, Bregman has a great sense of humor. I mean, I don't know. I can't like it anyway. Ben Onda is with us. He's on Twitter at Ben Onda Top, ONDA Top. You can go check out the Bregman music video. So what's next? Any plans with this for what's next other than just dropping the video?
Well, you know, like I just did this kind of just because, you know, I'm a huge Astros fan. I'm a Houston sports guy through and through. But, you know, it's actually kind of funny and ironic because LSU football is like my mom went to LSU. My mom is from New Orleans. She went to St. Martin's High School there. My grandmother went to Newman. So I've got deep ties in your neck of the woods over there. So, you know, I'm definitely just, you know, very, you know, connected to that. So again, I appreciate you having me on. But as for what's next, you know, I have my own business. I have a videography business. I've worked with pretty much all the professional athletes in some capacity here in Houston. Plenty of the Astros. You know, I did some work with Harden whenever he was here with the Rockets. Haven't gotten to do anything with the new guys lately, but man, they kind of, I don't really know how to get connected. They aren't very good right now, but we're trying to get better. You know, just a lot of the Texans did some work with Hopkins when he was in town. So, you know, sports is my passion, and that has kind of helped me segue my business, you know, my storytelling. That's really what I am. I'm a storyteller. And you know, through working with the athletes, getting my work out there, showing what I can do, I've been able to kind of segue that into a full-fledged business where I work with corporations, small businesses, individuals to help them tell their stories.
It's pretty cool, man. Does Paul Wall have like a version 2 coming?
Man, I hope so, dude. I mean, he's incredibly creative, man.
Yeah.
If you really listen to those lyrics, like they're really like catchy and witty and on point and accurate to who Alex is too. And you know what's funny now that I come to think about it, when he's like, boys sit behind the desk and talk nothing but shade. But let me tell you something, homie, this is all self-made. That was because the whole motivation for that was like Alex was just sitting at his kitchen one day and like Harold Reynolds or somebody on MLB Network was like talking crap about Alex, like shooting videos and stuff and like just, you know, doing the YouTube stuff saying, oh man, he's not working or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, yeah, and he took it really personally, which was hilarious but awesome at the same time. You know, I mean, it's just these guys, man.
Yeah.
You know, to get to the level that he is as a hitter, it's just you got to be as dedicated as he is.
You never know what fuels the great ones, man.
Totally.
And Alex is certainly one of those for sure. Ben, great job on the video, man. I'm glad that's Jeff Marks, by the way, who wrote Walking with Tigers. Alex Bregman was the longest chapter in Walking with Tigers, for those that remember the book. Great Christmas or holiday gift this time of year as well for the
Can't
LSU
wait to
fans.
read it.
Yeah, man, you got to pick up a copy of it. So
He's mailing me one, so
great.
I can't wait.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah, man. Ben, great work, man. We appreciate a couple of minutes today. Thanks for hopping on, man. We'll visit soon.
Of course, Matt, I really appreciate it.
Of course. That is Ben Onda, O-N-D-A. So he's on Twitter and Instagram at Ben Onda Top, O-N-D-A-T-O-P. Do you have the song still pulled up? Can you play a little more of it? It's okay. I could probably snag it as well. All right, but really cool. I mean, Paul Watts' 4-year-old song that they just dropped. He just did some edits to update for the second championship on the video. They dropped basically a Bregman music video that Paul Wall did. So pretty cool if you want to go check it out on Twitter or Instagram at Ben Ondatop, O-N-D-A-T-O-P. All right, we're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. Go check out the Williamson Eye Center, LASIK, PRK, the lens replacement. The best way I can say it, if you want to see 2020 without contacts or glasses, it's the best money you'll ever spend in your life, because there's nothing like being able to wake up in the morning and just see. If genetically you have great vision, I'm pumped for you. But if you're like me and my family, and genetically you got bad eyes, it's a challenge. It's a struggle. And it is life-changing. It is life-changing to be able to see. One of the best decisions I ever made. You've probably heard people say this before. I should have done it years before. But let this be the impetus. Let this be the push for you to call the Williamson Eye Center and go for that consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. All right, J-Boy's going to be with us in about 15 minutes. Our guy Jake Crane from Crane & Company. I miss calling him J-Boy, quite honestly. I mean, I know he goes by Jake Crane. It's like he's all grown up now, and he's the Jake Crane Show, or Crane & Company. But I loved calling him J-Boy. I kind of want to do that again. Maybe I'll do that when he's here. Yes, should we call him J-Boy when he's here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'd be offended. I think he'd just answer. I mean, he's J-Boy.
Yeah, no. And the weird thing is nobody's ever called him J-Boy. Like, that was just something he just came up with when they had to name the show. It's called the J-Boy Show.
Huh.
Like, no, that was not a nickname or anything. No one ever called him J-Boy. I don't know. How about that?
What we learned. I'm going to write that down.
How about that? All right. What do you think, Taylor? Should I call him Jake or J-Boy?
I like J-Boy.
Okay. Maybe I'll go with both. All right. Jake Crane, a.k.a. J-Boy. He'll be with us in about 15 minutes. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage for less money. I always love sharing great testimonials when I say better coverage for less money. How about this one? AFR listener named Doug. They wrote his homeowner's policy and saved him $1,000 annually. He originally called for auto insurance. They ran the numbers, looked pretty good. Called back the next day, asked, hey, do you do homeowners as well? They ran that. He was with Liberty Mutual. And, of course, they were able to find him better coverage. Tell you all the time, especially if you're with Liberty Mutual. They get you in at a low rate, and over time they jack it up and just hope that you keep hitting auto draft and you never check. That's where Insurance Network of Louisiana comes in. Let them shop independently for free to find you better coverage for less money. What if you could save $1,000 a year? In some instances, we've seen $3,000, $5,000. The most we've seen is over $10,000 annually on savings on your insurance. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop independently for free to find you better coverage for less money. 293-0450. Call them right now. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
We get it done with passion for our fans
and love for our community.
We are the Tigers.
Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
I'm Sylvia Weatherspoon. Here's a look at one of the stories we're working on for WBRZ News 2 at 6. Michael LeBlanc is the talk of town in Donaldsonville. He was serving time for murdering a man there, but was released from prison too soon and showed up in Donaldsonville. Now he's on the run from law enforcement. WBRZ tried talking to neighbors for their reaction. What they said and did not say speaks volumes about their concerns. This convicted killer is still on the loose. Join us for that and much more, plus your weekend forecast on WBRZ News 2 at 6.
A third of youth who grow up in foster care are homeless 18 months after aging out of care. But you can rewrite that story. Children and youth with CASA and GAL volunteers are more likely to find safe, permanent homes. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
How did we go down the 2010s or 2000s rabbit hole of hip-hop songs?
I started singing Tipsy in one of the breaks, and then Taylor started singing Tipsy, and then
you played Tipsy,
and then I brought up Chingy.
Then you brought up Chingy.
Yeah,
we brought up Akon.
Oh man, I gotta get some Akon going too.
I'm not a big Akon guy.
You don't like Akon?
Who else do we bring up? I brought up Master P because someone said Them Jeans, and I was like, Master P, Them Jeans? I know there was another Them Jeans. So there's apparently multiple songs with the same title about Them Jeans.
Them Jeans, man.
I know. But I did remember that Chingy was the one who was on Holiday Inn with Snoop.
And Luda.
Yeah, and Luda. My cool stock. Did my cool stock just rise, fellas? That I knew Chingy? Holiday Inn? Huh? Or did it make this song infinitely less cool? Is that what happened just now?
You got to work harder to make this song less cool. It's a great song.
Well, believe me, I'm working pretty hard over here, right?
It's fair. It's fair. No, I think you're good.
40-year-old balding man talking about Chingy and the Holiday Inn.
I mean, it's 2003. This is your wheelhouse.
This was my wheelhouse,
brother. You
want to talk about
cool points for something in your wheelhouse.
You want to talk about like burning our burned CD playlists for road trips, like to Ole Miss when Eli fell down and drove up a senior to LSU, stayed in Memphis. You know what I mean? Like you get on LimeWire or a Napster.
LimeWire.
You download your songs, you burn them to the CD, and then you got your playlist for the whole ride. When you burn them MP3s, you can put like 300 songs on a CD. You know what I mean?
A lot of them.
Yeah, it's really good. All right. Well, that Chingy, I'm gonna tell you, he really dropped it like it was hot on that track there. That's what he did. All right, Muse, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Thursday Night Football, Raiders and Rams. Neil Farrell Jr. for the Vegas Raiders. 3 total tackles in the game, only one of them coming solo. It was the Rams and Baker Mayfield who got the last laugh. on that broadcast for Thursday Night Football. Odell Beckham Jr. talked on an appearance on a LeBron James alternate telecast of The Shop about his decision where he'll play football. Again, Odell, free agent, Cowboys, Bills, Giants. Odell, quote, "I haven't made the decision. I would like to be in a stable environment. I've played football for long enough. I'm not saying I couldn't step in and play in the regular season, but I don't see the point. I'd rather play when that pressure's on." Of course, it was the Cowboys that said Odell not wanting to play the regular season kind of torpedoed that deal. NBA action last night. Tari Eason, 23 minutes off the bench, 3 of 4 from the floor for 8 points, added 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Rockets fell to the Spurs. Trendon Watford for the Blazers last night. 8 minutes off the bench, 2 points in the game. They both came at the free throw line, added an assist and 3 rebounds. Nuggets nipped the Blazers. Finally, NBA action tonight. Ben Simmons is set to make his return. He's missed the last 4 games. The Nets host the Hawks. It's a knee soreness and a calf strain for Ben. And Naz Reid will be in action with the Timberwolves tonight as well. Naz averaging 8 and 4. That is Tigers and the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, or go by either Lee Michaels locations in Baton Rouge, corporate in Bocage, and in the Mall of Louisiana. Gentlemen, the holiday season is a perfect time to pop the question. Nobody's got a better selection of diamonds at a better price, and you always get the Lee Michaels experience. lmfj.com. Hour 3, J-Boy, next, AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. 75 years in business, your partner for weighing and measurement equipment and services since 1947. Michelli is hiring. Remember, you go to the website, hit the careers tab at the top. You'll just see where it says apply now, and you can apply for the job you're looking for. You want to work for a company that's been around for 75 years, that values people, that's maintained its local ownership as it's grown across 29 offices in 11 states. That's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Remember, they've got the track system as well. That's a completely complimentary service to all of their clients. That allows you 24/7, 365 access to all of your calibration certificates. So you get audited or whatever the case may be, you need that information to start a job. Boom, it's there for you 24/7, 365. Totally free. It's at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Online, Michelli.com. That's Michelli.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. At the World Cup quarterfinals today, Argentina loses a 2-goal lead after the 82nd minute, but comes back to beat the Netherlands in a shootout after a 2-2 draw. And Croatia rallies to tie Brazil in extra time and then wins in penalties after a 1-1 draw. Argentina and Croatia will meet in the semis on Tuesday. Ravens coach John Harbaugh says it's looking like Tyler Huntley will be his starting quarterback Sunday against the Steelers. Lamar Jackson hasn't practiced all week with a knee injury. A comeback win for the Rams with Baker Mayfield at quarterback against the Raiders. But ESPN's Rob Ninkovich says, slow down.
Great game, great victory. Not taking anything away from it, but I'm not going to say that Baker's back.
Rob Ninkovich on Greeny. The Cardinals signed catcher Wilson Contreras to a 5-year deal. He'll take over for the retiring Yadier Molina behind the plate in St. Louis. Contreras played the last 7 years with the Cubs, winning a World Series in 2016, his rookie season.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Taylor Sharp. Muso. And Mr. Toby Toplake. All right, 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Jake Crane, Crane and Company, a.k.a. J-Boy, good enough to join us. Hey, dude, how are you, by the way? Thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Do I not get a music intro or anything like everybody else?
What do you want? You name it. What do you want?
Dude, just you know me, man. Play something that you think fits me.
Do you know the reason that our friend Muso here has Barbie Girl is because he gave me that same answer, and I said, Aqua Barbie Girl, that's it. And I just pegged him with the worst thing possible, which I would probably in turn do to you if you just left it to my own device.
Yeah, I forgot. You got a lot of the Sith in you.
Hey,
got a lot of that dark energy.
Does anybody call you J-Boy anymore?
Sometimes. I get it sometimes.
I miss it. I like it. I like it a lot.
Not as much as I used to, but some people, if in the grocery store or something, like a lot, I still get more J-Boy than Jake.
I know. Like now you're Jake Crane of Crane and Company. I mean, I kind of like J-Boy with the backwards hat. You know what I mean? That was. It's the same me.
It's the same me. I still rock the hat on the Sunday recap too. So,
I love it.
I mean, look, ain't nothing changed with the name on the mail.
What's up with in Cones over there with a cardigan? Like, I mean, the show just went and got all grown up. That's just what happened. The show.
Well, look, Cones a 70-year-old trapped in a 34, soon to be 35-year-old body. That's why his most popular segment's called "Get Off My Lawn." I mean, he's basically Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino. So, and then you got my brother, who's like 13. So it's like a great contrast.
Oh man,
he's over there with his Etch-a-Sketch, just playing around.
Oh, it's so good. Hey, you gonna watch the Heisman tomorrow?
Oh, I have to. But look, I wish you would just show us who gets the trophy. Like, look, I understand. I don't want the whole background story on everything. I watched you the whole year. Like, I know what went down. I wish they'd be like, all right, and here's the trophy. I will say this. I have enjoyed, similarly to kind of what we got through all levels of college football, but the parody a little bit of the Heisman this year. At least it wasn't a foregone conclusion like it has been really since I can remember. You can make a logical argument for a couple guys. But on that same note, Moscona being the defensive guy, I wish somebody on defense would have just really balled out this year. Yeah. They could have won it.
Do you have a vote, by the way?
No. And you know what? The way we vote is stupid because it's regional. It's a regional trophy. You're going to vote on the person who's in your area, whether that's West Coast, whether that's Southeast, whether that's Midwest. The former Heisman winners should be the only ones allowed to vote on who wins the Heisman.
Huh. I mean, they could be biased, too. I mean, they could vote for their...
Well, look, you're never going to eliminate bias.
For sure.
I mean, unless you just build a robot and then, look, who really knows?
Hey, they could take over the world. All right, if you had a vote, who would have been your three? 1, 2, 3.
One for me would be Max Duggan. Okay. I know that Caleb Williams has better numbers, but Caleb Williams also lost to the same team twice and lost a game during the regular season. So I would have gone Max. I would have gone Caleb. And then I would have gone, man, you know what? I probably would have gone Hendon Hooker,
Me too.
To be honest with you.
He would have been in my 3. I think the fact that anyone could have omitted him basically because he tore his ACL in halfway through the 11th game. The fact that nullifies his candidacy is stupid in my mind.
Well, to me, like, it's kind of not a sick way to look at it, but it's kind of a no feelings way to look at it. He was past the line of when it really mattered to get devastatingly hurt when it comes down to at least getting an invite. And anybody, I said on social media, like, Hendon Hooker should have gotten an invite, and not everybody, but a couple people were like, oh, well, that's a participation trophy. No, you can't call it a participation trophy when you're getting invited to an event where they literally hand out a trophy, just one trophy. Like, that's not how there's caveats to everything. That's one of them.
Yeah.
But no, him and, you can make an argument for Blake Corum getting an invite as well.
I said the same thing. Both of those guys essentially had their candidacy nullified due to an injury at the end of the season. That's stupid. That's one of the main issues with the award. Jake Crane's with us. He's on Twitter at Jake Crane _. Make sure you throw in that underscore at the end, or you'll get some other Jake Crane at Jake Crane _.
My evil twin brother.
Have you threatened the guy or reached out to the guy that has the Jake Crane handle without the underscore?
Look, we've been battling for what seems like eons now. There's a comic book in the works, probably a movie with Marvel. At this point, I'm just waiting on Nick Fury to come call me and see if I'm going to join the crew.
I mean, dude, the guy with Jake Crane, like, he has 97 followers. He hasn't tweeted since 2012.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's in hiding after, our last battle I won, so he's been in hiding. So, I mean, look, if you want the whole background, like, I can give it to you, but, I don't know if you're ready for that.
No, but he does say he does have Auburn Sports in his handle there, and I'm curious if your feelings on Freeze to Auburn.
Look, I thought it was a good hire, and I get he has baggage, okay? What I find hilarious is, not hilarious, but, somewhat hypocritical, and, partly hilarious, is that, people are like, oh, give us Lane Kiffin. Like, Lane Kiffin, yeah. Oh, Hugh Freeze, no. Hugh Freeze, bad. Like, do you know who Lane Kiffin is? Like, there's a reason they called him Joey Freshwater. Now, he's cleaned up in the past, but let's not act like Lane Kiffin was out here walking around, going door to door selling Bibles during his off time. All right? Let's be honest with each other. But, no, I think Hugh, he's the guy that's beaten Nick. He's a guy that's beaten Kirby. He understands the lay of the land. He understands the areas in recruiting where you can have success and where you're wasting your time, which is, a big trade all in itself. I think he's taken the time to hire the right staff. And in the era of the transfer portal, when you get a job like this, year one, you're going to have to lean on that transfer portal to flip that roster. I mean, Auburn's got 40, 45 spots that they're going to have to, flip, and I don't think they're going to get the two twin brothers from HGTV to come help, so they're going to have to do it through the transfer portal. At the end of the day, I think it was the right hire, and I think Hugh has a chance to do pretty well.
Was that like Flip This House? What was their total makeover?
Yeah, whatever that show is. Like the twin brothers are like, this thing sucks. Here's another one. Fake fight. We move that bus.
Okay. Hey, before you go, we got two more for you. One, what do you think? Move that bus. My mom used to watch that show. Sunday night home.
Oh man, it was the worst. What was that guy's name? Like Ty? Like he would be like taking out the drywall without his shirt on. He was like Zoolander.
What's his name? Ty? Yeah. When Zoolander's got the overalls in the mine.
Yeah, it's like the background say like while he's like taking the drywall out. He's like, what's going on?
Oh man.
Ty Pennington.
Ty Pennington. Thank you, Muse. Ty Pennington.
That's definitely his name.
Oh my God. Hey, what do you think about what do you think about Prime going to Colorado?
Well, I mean, welcome back to relevancy.
I know, right? Oh my God.
It seems like they're willing to change the way they handle transfers and stuff like that. So they seem all in. I think it's a great hire. Now, how will he do? We'll see, because now, at Jackson State, he had better players than a lot of the teams he played, basically all of them, which that's a compliment to him for bringing them in. But now he's going to recruit well. We know that. There's so much more that goes into it than just having the best players, though. That's a huge part of it. It's the most important part. But I'm interested to see how he does at this level when you're operating a whole program at the Power 5 level. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be shocked if you didn't see Colorado end up moving to the Big 12.
Really?
Tim Brando came on our show, and as somebody that understands the way the TV world works, it would make sense. But, I think it's funny the backlash he got for telling the kids, like, look, I'm bringing some players over here, and, let's play a game of everybody be honest. They're better than you are at this. So, and some people are upset, and I'm like, people have been getting processed like this for years. This has been going on for years. And number two, the players wanted in the business. You wanted to get paid for your name, image, and likeness and get paid to these collectives. You got it. You want to be treated like the coaches? You can go anywhere, whenever, wherever. Doesn't matter. All right, you got it. This is the business world now. You want it in. You have to take the good with the bad. So I didn't think it was that bad what he said, but I like the hire.
Jake Crane and Company, weekday morning, 6:30 Central. Crane and Company YouTube channel. Go subscribe. He's on Twitter at Jake Crane _ Anybody beating Georgia?
We had David Pollock on today, and we asked him, are you taking Georgia to the field? And we both agreed. You got to take Georgia right now.
Yeah.
Just look, I think not the better argument, but what a great argument is, would you rather play last year's Georgia team or this year's Georgia team? To be honest with you, I would rather play last year's. I would rather play last year's Georgia team, because this Georgia team is just more balanced. They can beat you in more ways. I mean, Stetson Bennett, you guys know down there, y'all just played him in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett's making stupid throws in the intermediate passing game right now, like moving left, moving right, within the pocket. He made some crazy throws in that SEC championship game. And Brock Bowers is just like that kid that's bigger than everybody. Like when you go and watch one of those fifth grade basketball games, the one kid looks like one of the dads out there running around.
Yep.
Like that's what it looks like when Brock Bowers plays. And then Darnell Washington, I swear, was in Xerxes' army. That dude is just a monster. I mean, that him transitioning from tackle to tight end is one of the most impressive things I've seen. But no, I don't think anybody's beating Georgia.
Bring back the hat, J-Boy. He's on Twitter at Jake Crane _ Thank you for the time. Have a great weekend, man. Always good to visit.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. It's always fun to talk.
All right, buddy. That's Jake Crane and Company, weekday mornings, 6:30 Central Time, 6:30 a.m. Central Time on the Crane and Company YouTube channel. Of course, you can always go back, check it on demand whenever you want, but make sure you follow. The guys do awesome. I mean, we met Jake and Blaine and Cone all last year at SEC Media Days. Not this past, 2 summers ago. And Man, they meteoric rise through the ranks. Man, they've done an awesome job. So always love when we get a couple minutes with Jake. All right, it's after further review. We were supposed to catch up with Terrio. We could try to call him. It's going to depend on reception. And then realize that the Dunham game is happening right now. So it's 14-7 Dunham. Matt House's son is the quarterback for Dunham, by the way. He's thrown 2 long touchdown passes. So Dunham's up 14-7 right now. So good luck to the Dunham Tigers. Maybe we'll give maybe I'll just shoot him a text and be like, hey, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I'll enjoy the game. So, all right, stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. You can always download the Rouse's app as well. You want to handle your shopping, Rouse's can do it for you. Go to the app, pick out your items. Your personal shopper will pick them out for you. When you pull up to the store, they'll bring it out, saves you time. And, of course, remember, today is the 9th. So today is the 9th. You're 16 days away from Christmas, 15 days away from Christmas Eve, #math. You're going to have family over. Maybe you're having them to your house, or maybe you have to bring an item, whatever. Rouse's can handle all of the holiday fuss. They always say, leave the fuss to us. They can prepare your entire holiday meal through the Rouse's catering. You want the turkey or the ham or the side dishes, all the stuffing, dressing, everything that you have, whatever you would have on your traditional or other side dishes, they've got it for you at Rouse's. It's simple. Just heat and eat. Rouse's can help you out. Rouse's.com to learn more. Go to Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today. Or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Nearly half of children in foster care drop out of school. But you can rewrite that story. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now.
after further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, rolling along here, 5 o'clock hour, and glad to have you aboard with us here. Again, big shout out and thank you to everybody who participated in the Calandro's Rare Whiskey Raffle. We did it virtual again here in studio last night. We've talked about it. It's one of the events we here at Guarantee Media have partnered with every year now for probably half a decade. But man, actually, I think it's longer than that even. But of course, the guys at Calandro's do a great job, and they turned their rare whiskey allocation into a raffle that they used to raise money for charity. And the final tally, we're waiting on that number, but it's around $70,000 again raised. It'll go to both Four Kids Foundation and St. Lillian Academy, which, disclosure, St. Lillian is where my son Drew attends. It's a school for special needs kiddos in Baton Rouge, and those funds just go a long way. So thanks to everybody that participated. If you bought tickets, did not watch the raffle, they do have all of the winning numbers listed on their social media. You can go to Calandro's on Facebook or Instagram. You'll see the winning numbers listed. And I want to remind you again, even if you didn't win something, hold on to your tickets, because the allocation of the Van Winkles and the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection is coming soon. And when they do that, they'll draw again. The ticket sales are done. You can't buy any more tickets, but if you've already bought a ticket, you are in the raffle still for the Van Winkle and Buffalo Trace Antique Collection allocation, which will arrive at the store soon. And once they have that allocation, they'll draw more tickets. So please stress to everybody, if you're listening or if you know someone, do not throw away your tickets if you bought and didn't win, or even if you did win, because there's still more to come. So many, many thanks to everybody that participated. It was a great night. All right. We're not going to holler at Terrio. We're just going to try to check in with him, because it's been a few weeks since because it was Thanksgiving, and then last Thursday we were in Atlanta, or last Friday we were in Atlanta, and then today he's in New Orleans at the state championship game watching Dunham. So his daughters both cheer for Dunham. So they're cheerleaders on the cheer squad for Dunham. So they're at the Dome. So Terrio and I, we've missed the last 3 Fridays together. So we're going to call him just to check in, but I didn't realize the game was happening right now, so we'll check in with Terrio later. So let's do our something we do every Friday in the 5 o'clock hour. Let's do our what to watch before the football weekend.
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
All right, Muse, you want to start us off?
Sure, I'll start us off. Baltimore Ravens, they will travel to Pittsburgh this Sunday. They will do so without starting quarterback Lamar Jackson, ruled out today. Got to keep an eye on it, because the Ravens are tied atop that competitive in AFC North with the Cincinnati Bengals.
So Brett Hundley will get the start.
Brett Hundley.
How do we feel about that?
The Steelers have been really tough to figure out. Now, obviously, they're not very good. They are 2-point favorites. The line has swung back in their favor now with the injury
in Pittsburgh?
To Lamar. It's in Pittsburgh. I mean, it's just hard to pick the Steelers, but I guess without Lamar, you kind of got to go with the Steelers.
Yeah.
And plus, the Ravens have blown 4 leads this year with Lamar. So,
Taylor, what do you think?
On that game, Steelers all the way.
Okay.
It's going. I mean,
Harbaugh and Tomlin, I think, are the 2 best coaches in the league, not named Belichick. Yeah. Tomlin at home against a backup quarterback. I like the Steelers too. Not super confident, but I get why they're the pick.
Yeah.
But it's why it's interesting. So, Taylor, what you got?
Yeah, speaking of the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow will play the Cleveland Browns, who he is winless against in his career. Will Joe Burrow finally get a win against the Brownies?
Isn't that a bizarre stat?
Yeah, it is. 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes. Has never beaten the Browns.
And the Bengals are a 6-point favorite in this game?
6.
I think a big reason that line is what it is. There's a little recency bias because of the awful performance that Deshaun Watson had last week. But I don't know if this will hold. But the old adage is a team makes its biggest improvement from week 1 to week 2. Like, I would assume Deshaun Watson is dramatically better this week than he was last week on the road in Houston in his first appearance back. So I love Cleveland in that spot.
Plus the 6 for sure.
I mean, you think this is the other thing I'll tell you. Did you watch the game? The Saints-Bucks game on Monday night, and Brady's doing the post-game interview. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
His the sideline reporter asks Tom Brady, or he says his daughter's birthday, and she's like, "Oh, who are we playing?" So the Saints, and his daughter went, "Oh no!" Like some teams just are a matchup problem, right? Some teams just, and maybe that's the case with Cleveland, is a matchup problem for Cincinnati. Now, part of that is when Joe Burrow first got to Cincinnati, they stunk. So, and that was the year Cleveland was a playoff team, right? I mean, that was the year when Cleveland beat Pittsburgh. It was 2020, and Cleveland beat Pittsburgh in the opening round of the playoffs. So that was part of it. They were just better. But sometimes it's a matchup thing. And I think Deshaun Watson could be much better this week. Army-Navy. The under has hit 16 straight times. Do you think it hits again?
I do. It's low. The total's low.
That's the big difference.
It's 32 and a half. It's
normally,
they don't have the hook anymore.
Normally, it hovers around 40.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that may be the thing. And I heard, shout out Jimmy Ott. Jimmy gave this stat earlier. Over the course of that streak, if the total had been what it is for this game, the under would be 9-7. So much closer to a coin flip proposition. Are you betting it?
Yes.
You're betting the under?
I'm going to take the under.
Taylor, do you bet?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not going to bet this game, but I'll be different. I'll take the over.
The under has gone 43-9-1 since 2005 when the service academies play. But it's like, of course, you play the trend. Of course you do.
Right.
But the line is dramatically lower. It's not that they went from 40 to 38. They went to 32.
I think that's because both the teams are dramatically worse than they have been in previous years. And you're going to get the same style of football game with two worse teams.
Yeah, that's fair. You're always a busted play. I mean,
you are. I know. I mean, remember Navy when they covered backdoored it against I think it was Houston earlier this year.
No, I don't remember that. I was not watching Navy
SMU,
Houston.
Something like that.
No, you degenerate. I was not watching.
Hey,
that.
it was entertaining.
It's funny that you went from
was entertaining.
not being a sports bettor, doing early line, and you became Ott.
I'm not Ott.
You're Ott's mini-me.
No,
you're Jimmy Ott's mini-me is what you are. Yeah, you're not Ott.
First of all, I take that as a compliment.
You're Jimmy's mini-me.
Anyway, moving on.
Being Jimmy's mini-me?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course. Get out
That's
there.
A badge of
Make
honor.
it happen. Yeah.
You were talking about this game with Paul Nolan yesterday, and it is very interesting. The Vikings and the Lions. The Lions are a 2-point favorite.
Give me Detroit.
In this game against Minnesota. Yeah, right? I mean, you think
Detroit.
There's got to be a reason. Vegas knows something. It's been very interesting to watch. Obviously, Dan Campbell's rise here as of late with Detroit as a team that could potentially backdoor their way into the wild card.
They just hung 40 on Jacksonville last week.
Well, Jacksonville sucks.
I get it.
Let's be honest. They're not good.
That's an NFL team.
I know.
They hung 40 on an NFL team. And by the way, it could have been more because I think they had 30 in the first half. I mean, I was watching the game. I
had the over in that game.
So that was one of Paul Nolan's picks last week.
That's why I had the over in that game.
And Jacksonville, or Detroit damn near took care of it themselves.
By themselves, yes. The Vikings, though, man, they've just got no respect. They keep winning, so it is interesting to see. It's an intriguing game.
Taylor, you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm watching the matchup.
Hit the little. Wait. My bad. Hit the little swooper. There it is. There you go.
Watching the matchup between the Bucs and the 49ers for the quarterbacks, and here's why. Tom Brady is in his 23rd NFL season. Brock Purdy, only 22 years old. So Brady's rookie year, Purdy wasn't even born yet.
So that was my last one, was San Fran and Tampa Bay. And so I'll just piggyback here and we'll talk about it. I look at this, and San Fran at home is, when I'm looking for the line, what's the line? I don't see it.
San Francisco is a 3.5-point favorite.
All right, so San Fran 3.5. With Brock Purdy going against that Tampa defense. Like, that's the other thing we talked about with Deshaun Watson as well, whereas, like, I'm assuming Deshaun Watson's going to get better. Something we also see, especially with rookie quarterbacks, is maybe you have a great debut, but once there's film on you, you're gonna regress. And I think that could happen with Brock Purdy. Now, Tampa's offense is abysmal, and they got to go on the road on a short week and play against that San Francisco defense, which doesn't bode well at all for them. I'm a little torn on this because I think there are two angles at play in this ball game. And the really crappy thing is if the Saints hadn't crapped down their legs on Monday Night Football, you'd be watching Tampa on a short week go across the country with that crappy offense to play that San Fran defense. And if San Fran manages to beat Tampa, the Saints are tied for the lead in the division, which is insane to think. But that was the reality that they could have been facing if they didn't just completely gag away in the most improbable manner. So I'm kind of pissed off about this altogether. So what do you all think about the game on Sunday?
I think the defense can carry San Francisco to a win. As long as Brock Purdy doesn't make is it really any different than when Jimmy G's in there? Brock Purdy's going to be asked to manage the game, right? So don't make the catastrophic mistake that costs your team the game. If you do that, your defense can shut down a bad Tampa Bay offense.
I'm going to take the Bucs. Brady does really well against rookie quarterbacks. Anybody know the last rookie quarterback, trivia of the day, to beat Tom Brady?
No.
Geno Smith.
Jets.
Oh.
Wow.
Pretty good year for Geno Smith so far, too.
I mean, I'm going Tampa for that reason. It's just give me Tom. I think Brock Purdy against that defense regresses. I mean, give me Tom Brady on the road, low scoring game. He'll do what he did against the Saints. He'll find a way to win it late. Just what he does. Their offense isn't good. I mean, what's the total in that game?
Total in that game is 37.
37? The total in that game is lower than the total. No, Army Navy's 32.
32.
My bad.
But it's
close.
It's
close. It's kind of
comparable.
like Army Navy.
Minus the triple option.
No.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we're watching. We'll recap when we get back here on Monday. Did y'all have anything else?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, we're brought to you by Mold Zero USA, mold-0usa.com, mold-0usa.com. Check them out online at mold-zerousa.com for Mold Zero. If you got mold, don't go cutting sheetrock. No need to do all this demo work. It's easy. Just call Jim and the gang over at Mold Zero. They'll come in. They'll always give you a free estimate. Of course, they'll assess the situation, let you know what it'll cost. And they'll come in and spray their patented, non-toxic dry fog. You don't have to worry about cutting sheetrock. You don't have to worry about being displaced out of your home. It's that easy. They'll spray it. Of course, mold spores, so they'll let it dwell for about 45 minutes to make sure they kill all the mold, and then wait about a couple hours. The fog will dissipate, and once the fog's dissipated, you can go back into your home, your office, completely mold-free. It'll kill other pathogens, and it'll eliminate odors as well. So if you got odors you're having trouble getting rid of, this will help as well. It's Mold Zero. Mold-ZeroUSA.com. Mold-Zero.USA.com. All right, y'all. It's after further review. Been a good show. Appreciate y'all for being here. You know, if you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. We talked about Cam Wire jumping in the transfer portal. We previewed LSU's hoop game against Wake Forest in Atlanta tomorrow. Todd Graffinini was with us last hour, and we talked to Ben Onda, who is a video editor who put together an Alex Bregman music video. It's a Paul Wall, the rapper, the Iced Out Snowman, did a Alex Bregman rap song, and Ben Onda did the music video to accompany it. So we talked about that last hour as well. You catch any, and Jay Boy was with us to start this show, Jay Crane. So you miss anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Brett Golf. You can go to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or you can always get us on demand at 1045ESPN.com. All right, y'all. It's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, I'll reset LSU's portal news, and we'll give you a one last preview of Pell's Suns tonight from the Blender as Willie Green's met with the media here in advance of tonight's ball game. We're about 2 hours from tip, so make sure you're locked into that game tonight. Number 1 seed Pell's right now. First place Pell's against second place Suns from the Blender. It's going to be jumping tonight in NOLA. We're looking forward to that one tonight. We'll preview it next. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
Agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Buying or selling commercial or residential. Look, if you need a realtor, you need Darren James. So call Darren James. You could always, I tell you all the time, you can always go and read all the reviews. Nobody does it better than Darren James. And this is objective. Darren James on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. And that's based on the number of homes sold. If you need to sell your home, call the realtor that sells more homes than anyone. Call Darren James, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Look, I get it. Market's slowed a little bit, so don't you need an experienced realtor who gets results? You need Darren James. 335-7666 or online at agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit. We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has
laid back. With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We're all thankful to be in this position. We have a ton of great guys on the team that buy into what we want to accomplish. It's a good place to be early in the season, and, we just want to continue to build from here.
Willie Green talking about what it means to be the 1 seed in the West, or I should say first place in the West, where they are right now at 16-8. Winners of 5 straight. The Pells are hot, and they'll play tonight and Sunday in the blender against the second-place Phoenix Suns, who are a game behind in the loss column. So the Pels up by half a game. You said it earlier, and he's right. Split these two is really what you got to do if you're New Orleans. You'll maintain your spot atop the Western Conference. What you don't want to do is fall, because you lost to Phoenix earlier this year. You don't want to lose the season series because tiebreakers could come into play later down the line. And it's a little bizarre, admittedly, that we're talking about tiebreakers atop the Western Conference with the New Orleans Pelicans, but it's the reality they're facing right now, and it's something they've earned at this point. They'll have a great opportunity to go show their growth and development. The other thing that Willie Green was asked about, look, he said Herb and B.I. are going to be out. tonight again. And Jose Alvarado was questionable with the rib injury. But he was asked about the Suns and Pels becoming a rivalry. And I kind of understand in part why that aligns a bit. But here's what Willie Green said.
Rivalries are good for the NBA. They're good for fans. It's good for sports in general. Both of our teams, we have a lot in common, a lot of relationships. We'll see if it becomes a rivalry. I don't know if it is yet, but they want to beat us. We want to beat them. And that's the bottom line.
For it to be a rivalry, there has to be something at stake. And there hasn't been yet. Yes, I know they played in the postseason a year ago, and the Pels pushed them to 6 games. That doesn't quantify a rivalry. But when you win games like this, if you're able to win games like this, that's how you start to build toward considering this a rivalry. And I don't know that ultimately it'll be the Suns over the long haul, long term. The thing about this game in particular that is most interesting, and quite honestly something I hadn't realized until Graff pointed it out earlier, and it's true and obvious, honestly, but it's that Zion hasn't played against Phoenix, at least not since the Pels have been on this run. He didn't play a year ago and didn't play in the game earlier this season. So while, yes, Phoenix has been better than New Orleans, New Orleans hasn't had its best player. And sure, we could clearly point out that Brandon Ingram is the Pelicans' best player. But Zion right now has been that guy that stuffs the stat sheet every night. He's a walking double-double, and he's a matchup nightmare for everybody in the NBA. No one has figured out. I mean, Malone said it the other night. Like, there's nobody in the NBA that's figured out how to stop the guy. It doesn't matter who you throw at him. So what does that variable mean in this game? That's probably the thing for me that I'm going to be most interested in seeing. You know you're going to get great defensive effort. Yes, I wish Brandon Ingram was out there. I wish Herb was out there. And in time, and that's what's ultimately most important, is making sure those guys are there healthy when it matters, and that's in the postseason when you're talking about basketball in May and hopefully June. But tonight, I want to see how Zion, what Phoenix does to handle Zion tonight, considering we just haven't seen it yet. I mean, that's the most important variable, and it's the one we'll see for the first time tonight. So, Pels and Suns tonight, 7:30 from the Smoothie King Center, and they'll have it on Bally Sports New Orleans if you're going to watch the game. I'll be locked in tonight for sure. Excited to see this one here tonight with the Pels and the Suns, and they're back on Sunday to play against their 2 games, Pels Suns in New Orleans this weekend tonight, and then again on Sunday. Monday, we'll be back here to reassess how all that shook out. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows, Relief.com, 288-8138, 288-8138 for Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. You know where to find them. The showroom is on Airline Highway in Prairieville. If you're going south on Airline, cross Highway 42, look to your right. I mean, just not even a quarter mile on the right. You'll see the new Relief Windows showroom. Open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, state-of-the-art. They always have representatives available to talk to you, to walk you through the showroom, to explain all of your options for you. Again, you want to make your home more energy efficient? Install those energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. Windows door siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. Slower portal day today for LSU. Cam Wire, the only LSU Tiger to jump in the portal today. And we did, if you missed the start of the show, yesterday, some of you listen at certain times. That's just your habit every day, maybe when you're driving home or whatever it may be, or watch. One of the things we were talking about yesterday was we kept butting up against this number because a lot of you kept saying there were 9 LSU players in the portal. And what ultimately we realized is the 9th that a lot of you were referring to is Jordan Tolles. Well, Jordan Tolles isn't an LSU player in the portal. Jordan Tolles entered the portal over the summer and played this entire season at Morgan State. So he's not in the portal. So there were 8. And then today, Cam Wire entered the portal. He's the 9th. And there are some guys on this roster that you could say it's a spot or a player where it's pretty obvious, right? If they're not going to be back. If you've been around the program for 3 years plus and you're not playing, then clearly there's an opportunity to jump in the portal and go somewhere where you'll have an opportunity. The biggest name that we're all looking for eventually is going to be, what does Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier do? What happens at quarterback? And I don't know that we get an answer before the bowl game. Remember, this portal window is open until January the 18th. So theoretically, they could wait until January. I mean, the game's on January the 2nd. You'd still have more than 2 weeks after that to make the determination. And by the way, the draft deadline for early entrance into the draft is January 20th. So the portal closes January 18th. The draft deadline is January 20th. So I don't know that there is an imminent decision coming from either of these quarterbacks on what it's going to be. Is Jaden returning? Is he going pro? Is Nussmeier staying? Is he going portal? Don't know. I don't know if there's anything imminent. That's the biggest one we're all watching. But the Cam Wire news today is the first of what I expect to be plural offensive linemen jumping in the portal. Guys that haven't played, haven't cracked this rotation. And when you've had two true freshmen emerge the way that Will Campbell and Emory Jones did as your bookend tackles and your top 6 linemen from this year coming back, that's just a very obvious spot where you're going to look at potential attrition. Some of those guys leaving, and then obviously a spot where LSU is going to look to address some depth via the portal as well. So we'll keep an eye on that over the weekend. All right, it's After Further Review. Been a really good Friday show. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center, title sponsor of our Friday shows all throughout the year. We certainly appreciate Don Juan. Gift card from Don Juan. Great gift idea this holiday season for the cigar smoker on your list, Don Juan Cigar Bar. We'll knock out a final break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show with Ask Us. No Terrio, so no Ask Ryan. We'll do Ask Us. Me, Taylor, Muse. You want to ask us anything about anything, you can fire away. That's what we'll do to put a button on the week. You can email Matt at 1045ESPN.com. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube
Twitter
chat.
world.
Thank you, Juice. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel, or you can text me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Ask us to wrap up next.
AFR.
Boy, this weekend would be a great opportunity to get by the Baton Rouge General Hospital to see the holiday lights. Been telling you about it for several weeks now. And the holiday lights at the Baton Rouge General runs all the way through New Year's Eve. So you can go to the website to get the information. This is a really good place to start. Go to brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. It's the holiday lights at the Baton Rouge General. It's dancing lights set to music. You cannot miss it if you're driving down Bluebonnet. It's the Bluebonnet campus. So if you're driving down Bluebonnet directly across from the mall, it's the field alongside Picardy as you're heading toward the General. It's a great, amazing display and service that the Baton Rouge General puts on as a huge community involvement thing for our community, where you can go by and enjoy the holidays, walk through the campus with all the holiday lights and enjoy it at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. brgeneral.org for more information. If you want to see where it is, where to park, how to get the tickets, all that stuff, it's online at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you. Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7, The Tiger.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Friday. So thanks for being part of the show. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Do us a solid, smash that like button. And if you haven't, please subscribe up to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. That's where all of our shows live every day, live, and all of our specialty programming. And, of course, WBTR, Channel 19. We appreciate our friends at WBRZ so much for the opportunity to be on television again. So you have the streaming option there on YouTube, but also on WBTR 19 in Baton Rouge. That's Rev, Channel 144. And if you're a cord cutter, if you got the antenna, it's 36.1. So we appreciate everybody for being there. All right. And also thanks to Taylor for hanging out today. Paul had a couple days vacation that he took here as we're near the end of the year. So Danny was here the last couple of days. Taylor taking care of business today, and we're grateful. I know it's not easy for those guys to pull double shifts and all that stuff, so appreciate you for hanging out too.
Yeah, man. For sure, man.
Let's get a little Ask Us as we wrap up. Ask anything about anything, so fire away. This is usually Ask Ryan, but Terrio's not here, so we'll go. Trey Day said, is 2-0 in soccer just running up the score and being a jerk?
No. Ask the ask the Netherlands. They came back from 2-0 today. Lost in PKs, but came back.
This is not a criticism. This is not a statement on anything. It's just a statement of fact. I have not intentionally watched a minute of this World Cup. And let me rephrase. I'm not saying I've intentionally avoided. I mean, I've not intentionally watched it.
You haven't sought it out.
Correct. Like if it's been on a TV or something like that as I've passed a studio. But this is going to go without saying, but I'll say it just for the sake of the conversation. Normally, if the World Cup was in the summer, I'd find my way, certainly to watch it when the U.S. played. But there was no opportunity at all for me to watch the U.S. play because of my work schedule. So, I mean, I think they just completely lopped off a ton of casual fans because of the schedule. I know nobody was in favor of it being in the Middle East and all that stuff and why it happened, but it's whatever. All right, Alex Day, is it too early to start talking LSU baseball?
Absolutely not.
Yes, it is. Stop it.
No, it's not.
Zach Schwarzer, by the way, so in last Friday in Atlanta, were you there when we made the bet?
Yes.
Are you part of the bet?
I am not part of the bet.
Two gentlemen who are brothers, who shall remain nameless for the sake of this, disagreed on LSU baseball. One of the brothers insisted that LSU is not going to make it to Omaha because they don't have the arms, which is just
he's going to lose.
He's going to lose. Now, LSU may not make it to Omaha. We saw Tennessee last year. They were the best team in college baseball, did not make it to Omaha. But if LSU doesn't make it, it's not going to be because they don't have the arms. No. It's going to be because on a given day in June, somebody has the runs and just doesn't have it that day or whatever. You know, it's when I say runs, I mean like diarrhea, not runs like anyway, you know what I mean? Like it's baseball and you're as good as a starting pitcher on a given day usually and things happen. But LSU should absolutely be in Omaha. And anyway, this gentleman gave me and his brother 3-1 odds. And we bet $1,000. So we would each get $3,000 if LSU makes it to Omaha. Yep. And if LSU does not, we would each pay him $1,000.
Yep.
I feel like he's basically paying my trip to Omaha.
Yeah.
Zach Schwarzer, why didn't I win some Weller 12, Matt? Sorry about that, Zach. Sorry about the Calandros raffle. But keep your tickets. You could still win the Pappies. John Frederickson said, Matt, I need a good old-fashioned recipe. There's plenty of them. You know where to find them. Not sharing mine, though. Anthony Cortello, does the men's basketball team reach 500 in conference play? Oh, good question.
I'm going to say no.
Just under.
So
no, they don't reach 500.
What does just under mean?
Like close to 500, but just under.
Okay, what number? They play 18 games.
Oh, I don't know. They'll win 12, maybe.
Well, if they win 12,
oh no, I'm sorry.
I would say that would do it.
They'll win 6.
Math. Yeah, I think unanimous here. They do not get to 500. I think they'll get to. I think they will be 8 and 10 in conference play. There'll be one game under 500 in conference play. Billy Phillips. Any high school games on cable? I don't know. Or the high school game, the state championship game streaming? I don't know. Sorry. Greg Gerard, would you rather eat a pound of earwax or relive the 2011 Natty loss? I mean, I've made it this far through the Natty loss. So what, do I just have to watch the game again? Yeah. I mean, I'll watch the game again and not eat a pound of earwax.
Yeah, I'll go with the game.
And it helps that we have 2019 as well.
Although I have not ever rewatched that game.
Yeah, me either. Scott Morvant, what's Primetime's next coaching spot after Colorado? He says, I say Florida State. I don't think he was really asking us a question. I think he just wanted to say that he thinks that Prime's going to go to Florida. But keep in mind, Deion's 55 years old.
It's true.
And if Norvell continues an upward trajectory, that job may not be open for as long as Deion's coach will see. Andrew Watson, when was the last time the Pelicans or Hornets were in first place with more than 10 games played? Someone asked me that question yesterday. I don't know the answer to it.
I think Chris Paul. I think when Chris Paul was here and was young.
You're making that, you're just kind of throwing that out there, making an assumption. Well, I don't know that they were ever in first place.
I was talking with Mario about it earlier today, though, too.
I'm telling you, dude, even those teams that made the playoffs, like go look at 2008, I don't think they were ever in first place in the West. I mean, when they moved to the West, I mean, you have to look. All right, we're flat out of time. I don't think that they exist. Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all Monday.
AFR.
All right, as we get on down the road, we're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. That seems like a good question for a producer to research over the weekend. Maybe? Sounds like a good idea? Maybe? South Point Volkswagen. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Y'all, weekend's here. No LSU football games. No excuses, man. You want to get that new vehicle? Do it this weekend. Go by South Point Volkswagen. They've got inventory on the lot, so you can go to the website, hit the new vehicles tab right there. Hit the new vehicles tab, hit search inventory, and you'll see all the vehicles that they have. Remember, if it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com, both the new and the certified pre-owned. You want to go test drive a brand new Atlas Crossport SE with all the technology in it. You can drive it, and you can drive more affordably than any of those luxury brands. It's South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen.